you're so cool, like such a cool customer that you're like, oh, this is nothing. It's okay. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Nothing could go wrong.
And then you get sucked into near the necrotic vortex. Yeah. You get to this point in time. I'm not going to have a turn tracker go here, but it's going to be an increment of what you want to do at a point in time. Right now, you're close enough to see that she's like squatted and hugging her knees and like talking wordlessly to herself. But she obviously has a really freaked out expression. You're this close to her. Is there anything you want to do or say or anything like that before you're potentially sucked closer?
It's like I'm debating whether what he would actually do, because it was like...
Stay true to character, man. What would Goswin do?
Since he's such a different person, it's like I'm trying to figure out what exactly he would do.
Well, I mean, we're down 2 people. You got time, man. You got time.
Yeah.
As long as
no time like the present.
As long as you don't just go doing shit like, I'm going to Google how to deal with a panic attack real quick. And it's like, no, don't do that. That's just dumb. Come on.
No.
Come on. God, I don't like unless you give me an amazingly monologue of just how he knows all about that shit out of nowhere.
Kendricks would know.
Well,
not that you would know that Kendricks.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah,
you're not here.
Because I'll remind you how this is going down, Voss. This is going down when the whole group was supposed to be back at the Biblioplex. Goswin had not come back yet, and he left his own way, telling someone like he had something to do. He got to tell his own person the people were dead, the teacher was dead, kind of thing. And you haven't seen him since. You and Alina and Ancoretta were still at the Biblioplex. However, Ancoretta is anxious this whole time, and the longer and longer that Goswin isn't showing up, she is like throws up her hands and is like one of those screw this attitudes, and like you're sitting at a table waiting around because it's kind of boring just standing the whole entire time. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
No one knows how long you have to wait. And so she picks up her book, anything she has with her, all of her belongings, and she leaves, declaring really quickly and frustratedly that she has to go study and you can see with just passive scores that she is really annoyed that she didn't do nearly as well as she did last time on the test. And she's really beating herself up for it. So she's going to go cloister herself in her room and study. Because like the first time she studied alone and she did great. Second time she went and studies in the group and she didn't do so great. So she's taking that to heart and she's ditching you all for studying this next time.
That tracks.
So Ancoretta is basically went her own way. So at the moment, your Alina and Kendricks are just still waiting around in the Biblioplex for Goswin and for an indeterminate amount of time. Because no one knows what the fuck happened. Because I'll also remind you that he told her, he went to the Bosun Tavern. He told Aurora Luna Winterstar that the teacher, what was it, Verdana or something like that, Verdana Lang, and they had died, and she was with a couple of friends, and she told them very politely and very casually that she had to go. They took her at her word because, like I told Matt earlier, it's like if you have someone in your life, it's like, oh hey, my roommate's gonna say they're going to the grocery store, get some food, kind of thing, and it's like, okay, but are you really going there? I mean, unless you have a premise to distrust them, you're not really going to question every single thing they do or say. So they didn't have their own NPC reasons to do a quote-unquote an insight check or perception check or whatever. So they just like, okay, I guess you're going at most. So she left, and Goswin was curious / obsessed / concerned, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So he wanted to find out where she was going and what kind of mood she was in and what kind of tales she had and whatnot. So he followed her alone without telling anyone that's what he was doing. Currently, they're in an area of the Witherbloom campus that has no one else in the surrounding immediate area to notice what's going on with her. And he is slowly getting sucked in a necrotic vortex. So that's what's happening as a recap. So that's always fun, right?
Neat.
Okay, you think about what you're going to do yet, Matt?
I can only think of two things, and both of them I know for a fact aren't good things that I could do here.
So, but what was the most likely thing that Goslin would do? I will remind you that technically speaking, you're near like the bottom of a root. So if you ever wanted to grab onto it for a little more strength or a little more, hold to get not sucked in, you're near a pretty a bigger root right now.
I feel like if I do feel like I'm starting to get sucked closer, he would grab a hold, or at least attempt to.
So what does Goswin do?
I think at this point he wants to make sure she knows that he's there, but not really. Because the two things that I have in mind are asking, "Are you okay?" And obviously, no, she's not. Stupid question. Or it's gonna be okay, and it's like, obviously she's not gonna like hearing
Like
that
how would he know such things? Like what authority does he have? What secret knowledge does he have that he knows it's going to be okay?
Well, everything's gonna be okay in the end, right?
That's
That's how most people
is
would
Goswin
say.
such a powerful optimistic like that?
No, but I know a lot of people would be like, "Oh, that's the thing to say. Oh, it's gonna be okay," but it's not what people ever want to hear in that kind of situation.
So what is Goswin going to do?
I guess at this point, to make sure that she knows he's there and concerned, are you okay? It's the only other thing I can think of, but
You notice that instead of just freaking out, she suddenly looks at you and her eyes widen. Give me an insight check.
more insight. Oh, I didn't open up that portion of my pages that I need.
Oh yeah, you always go search your spells, don't you?
Insight. Where in my normal? Yep. Wow, nat 1. Nice.
For your role, you think she's scared of you. You can't tell why.
As a player, I know why, but as a
As
character, no, I
and
didn't.
what happens after that point is this.
Oh. Oh.
Make another strength save.
Hey, guess what? An 11 doesn't do it. I'm surprised it's the same exact roll. So at this point, he would grab a hold of the root as he's trying to be sucked in, kind of thing. I don't know.
Give me athletics.
Athletics. Man, I'm not good at that either.
You're being sucked into it. Oh, well, you don't get a hold of it. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, yeah.
You do not grab onto that root with a good grip.
Yup.
Let's see how much damage you're going to take from being inside this necrotic vortex. You take 8 necrotic damage.
Ow. Well, let's just hope I don't do that again.
She is freaking out. You have another moment right now that you feel like if there's ebb and flow of the suction and wind because of just how weird of an unnatural force this is. Right now is the current one of the ebbs of it. And so right now you feel like you have a moment to just do something else. Whether you want to back up and grab the root, run away to get out of the vortex, talk her down some more, in your opinion, what would Goswin do?
There's kind of two things he would want to do, but I don't know if he technically could do that. Because I thought about, I could probably pull out my cuddly Strixhaven mascot. It is of the thing for Witherbloom. Or did I switch? I can't remember now.
You're the one who has the wither. You're the one who has the Quandrix one because you
Oh,
trade.
I did trade it.
Yeah, yeah.
So then never mind. on that.
Kendricks didn't care as much to trade about it at the time.
Mm-hmm. Man, if I only kept the other one, it would make sense here.
Like you have a fractal a mascot on your arm, and it's like that's not gonna help in this fucking situation.
Well, it was more so to like, if it was for the Witherbloom one, I would want to give it to her as I went down to her. But because I don't have that, it doesn't make as much sense in this situation. I guess then, if that's the case, he would try to move in and.
I also want you to realize that the the things you had to harvest for like that one Arcanobotany thing, they're like they're not acute.
Well, yeah.
That is the Witherbloom mascot.
Mm-hmm. I know I have a couple cards with those on it, so.
Yeah. Isn't it cute?
I wouldn't call it that. Not personally, anyway.
Fucking adorable.
So what you have basically you have one chance to act right now. That's why I'm not giving you an official turn for turn order because that way you would have like, well, I would just run away, do this action, do this bonus action. Let's do all like it's official combat, right? Let me do all this, and it's like, no. You have one shot to do something right now. What do you want to do?
I think I'm gonna try to move in and give her a hug and say, "I'm here for you." I don't know if this will help, but it's what my brain is saying to do here.
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. You know, I'm not very good at talkative or strength stuff, so.
I'm sorry, it's one of those things where it's like if you're trying to fight against a literal gravitational suction force, I'm not gonna say make a deck save. Things aren't flying at you to dodge them or anything. It's your raw strength to avoid being sucked in and stuff, or your strength to grab onto a big root, or you're talking to someone. Well, what did you think it was gonna be?
I'm just saying that's why I'm rolling bad. It's not my strong suit.
Sure, let's go with that. Well, it's not the two nat ones.
Doesn't help.
You take 5 necrotic damage.
Oh my.
I didn't set it up, by the way. It's not like, oh, I'm at 1 health. It's perfect. This is so suspenseful. It's like, no, I can copy paste like my screen right now and like a portion of it, and it's like I'll show you like, yeah, these are really what I'm rolling.
It's just perfect that I'm at 1 health. So does it get bigger then too?
Your presence. Well, give me another insight check.
Hey, I'm not gonna roll another nat one. I didn't.
You know
I
what?
rolled a 2.
You are completely right. You did not roll a nat one. You don't know why, but it's not currently getting bigger. which
Okay.
is but not knowing why it's not getting bigger is almost scarier because it's that more confusing.
It's like, is that the maximum size it can go?
You don't know. You had a shit insight for it.
Yep.
that insight was judging the behavior of the necrotic field. And that was you just having a momentary try to figure out what the fuck's going on. You have one more chance to do something right now. What do you want to do?
I guess at this point, there's not really anything else I can do except for try to talk her down, but
Technically speaking, it's not. You could try to run away.
oh yeah, that's definitely gonna make
if
her
you
feel
want to
good.
if you want to get technical, you could run away and abandon her.
I could, but that's definitely not gonna make her feel any better, which is kind of what he's trying to do right now. We're gonna make it through this.
Persuasion.
Okay, not another really low number.
Dex saving throw. If you choose to if you choose to let go of her and jump out of it, because you at least know by now if you stay, you will be damaged. And you have I'm just gonna say you have a passing knowledge just because of how high your raw intelligence is. You have a passing knowledge that dying in a necrotic field like this is not gonna do good things for you.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Or hitting 0 points from necrotic damage. So, are you choosing to stop hugging her and back out out of survival instincts?
I think at that point it would be more so survival instincts over anything else. Because he knows if he takes any more, he's
I do
most
not
likely
consider
going to
this on
die.
time. I don't care what Jess is saying.
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt. What you were saying?
I figure this is more survival instincts. So at this point, knowing that he's super low, and he probably will die if he stays in this, he would try to at least back out, but not try to go too far away where it feels like I'm just
Dex
trying
save.
to run away. I'm not even half bad at Dex.
So. Give me a percentile. You were supposed to roll higher than that.
Hey, you wanted a percentile die.
Roll a 1d4.
2.
You see. Hi.
I made it.
You made it in a very inopportune time because of what's just about to happen. That some people are not going to like it.
The most opportune time. Don't even fucking worry about it.
So, from having a super low failed deck save to get out of the necrotic aura while you're at 1 health, you notice from the corner of your eye, because you don't have a let me confirm, you don't have like a 10 passive perception, right?
Me?
I have over 10.
Well, okay, that's all you needed. As long as it's not just 10.
It's 13.
Yeah, that'll work. So you noticed that there is a purple and orange frog. They come to help and push you out of the way and die in your stead.
No.
You see them wither away into black necrotic, like life sucked out of them, dried husks of their former figures.
And I noticed it's them.
You do recognize them being with Alina and Kendrix before. The purple and orange frogs that they still wearing their little bit of an outfit. They are both now gone.
God damn it, Matt.
I didn't do it.
You
I
keep
am upset.
you keep ruining things. You horrible little gremlin.
I'm actually glad he didn't roll higher than a 2.
You monster frisbee!
I actually want you to realize the D4 with how many frogs are going to die to save you.
Oh no.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember how he got to this situation. Like, what the fuck is happening?
You said you came on time. If you're here on time, I went over a recap, dude.
I
Here.
don't.
I'll
I
grab
don't.
you something, Jess. Give me a sec.
Alina is currently waiting at the Biblioplex with Kendrix. You two were with Ancoretta, waiting for Goswin to get back because that was your meeting point. Goswin had not returned. You all initially separated because it's like, hey, she's dead. Let's go tell people and do stuff.
Got it.
Ancoretta's like, this is taking way too long. Fuck this. She seems really mad at herself for failing in a class that she aced the previous test on. So she ditched you guys to go study. At least, she was frustrated, but she at least announced that was her intentions, and she left. Goswin still had not come back. And Goswin, although you as a player can know this, but your character wouldn't know, he went to the Bows End Tavern, saw a couple of Roar's friends with her, notified her of the teacher's death, without actually giving much in the way of details, by the way. She told the Bows End Tavern manager, like Tuska or whatever the hell his name is, that she's gonna have to cancel her show tonight, and she had like a vaguely troubled expression, so they just let it go because she normally doesn't do that kind of thing without good reason, especially because they know her raw people wouldn't just like ditch flake on a performance. And so they basically, it was one of those attitudes of like say no more. And she had the attitude and tone of I have something important to do, but so I just need to get it done. And so her friends let her go. But whether it was obsession, curiosity, worry, whatever,
All of it.
yeah. Goswin had, want to do perception rolls and insight checks and whatnot to find out what's going on with her. Her friends took her at her word because you had to be a really cynical, untrusting, suspicious friend to just question every single time your friend leaves you. Like, no, are they really going there? I gotta find out they're lying to me. And it's like, really? Come on. And so he followed her in a currently unpopulated area of the Witherbloom campus, and all the brown is like twisted roots and stuff. And so, and don't make fun of the map. I took like 20 minutes to make it, and it is not the easiest thing to do. I'm still learning.
It looks good.
And so he rolled an 11 at the end of last session. It was in order to not get sucked into the vortex. The necrotic vortex Aurora Luna Winterstar is creating due to her uncontrolled power right now, and she is kind of making a necrotic dome thing around her of powerful of really annoying necrotic energy that will sap the life force from anyone who gets it. So fun. Um, he already got hit twice by it. And incidentally, I shit you not, I could like screenshot my rolls for it. He is actually at 1 health right now. Yeah, he got damaged by it twice. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I did like the whole how much does Wither and Bloom spell actually damage you? And it's like every creature inside the radius takes 2d6 necrotic, and so that's what I rolled. It just ended up being 8 and then 5 out of like 14 health, so he's at 1 health. At the very last millisecond, who is to come to his savior? Frogs, friendly frogs, who will die in his stead because they care
My
about
frog.
him. Hey, the orange one was Kendrick's.
So you're both down to 1.
I'll actually
Let's
give
check.
you a perception to see if you notice anything different. Matt.
Perception.
While they're pushing. No. The frogs are for whatever reason. The frogs give you the actual little oomph you need to get out of there in time to not take another tick of damage from it. But but it's just in time for them to be stuck in it and there. You don't see the other 2 frogs near them though, or in the area.
Well, at least I found a couple of them, I guess.
So the location of the red and blue are still unaccounted for. But for whatever yes. Oh god, what was a purple wearing? It was the one with the suspenders, or was it like? Oh fuck, I forgot they were wearing. I know. Like the 4 things that they were wearing was like a cape. One had a cape, one had suspenders, one had a bow tie, and one had a top hat. I forgot which had what.
I'm pretty sure orange had top hat.
Oh yeah,
I know
can just get them running a monocle with it.
Yeah. Because that's the one that's the one that I like bet on or like worked with, whatever.
Yeah, you at the time you had a choice to specifically work with one of the frogs to like really support it and guide it through the race.
Yep. And I helped it win, and then Kendricks stole it from me because he's a douche.
So,
Stole is such an ugly word. I like to think of it as reappropriation.
regardless, the red and the blue ones are not here, but you notice whatever clothing the orange and the purple had. So the top hat and whatever the hell the purple was wearing. Though for whatever reason the clothing is like a bit withered too. Like if it was made out of any natural fibers, they deteriorated and everything too. So even if the attire looked really brand new, it's now looking worn and old and fucked up now.
Like it kind of withered away, kind of.
Yeah, what do you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so you got pushed very last second out of the frogs that sacrificed their lives for you. Give me an insight check with advantage.
Insight with advantage. Didn't help today.
You only need a 10 for that.
Oh.
You only need a 10 for that because you realize that's not going to fucking happen again.
Well, yeah. Even though there's 2 more below.
That's why the check wasn't that low, wasn't that high, okay? If you really did get below a 10 for both of them, you're like, well, now you know you have a secret decoy weapon. If worst comes to worst, frogs can come out of the woodwork and save you. But you actually were able to roll a 10, so now you know better.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they helped you and pushed you a little bit was out of your control. So, what are you going to now? What is Godzin going to do in this current situation? If he realizes staying in her aura of a little dome of necrotic power is going to hurt when he can't really handle being hurt some more, And going to 0 hit points in a necrotic way is not good for him because he saw what happened to the fucking frogs. What does he want to do in this situation?
I will drink a potion of healing. Since I do have one.
Okay, go ahead and roll, and then don't forget to take it out of your inventory and whatnot.
Huh. Pretty good.
Why is
He
green?
needed it! He really fucking needed to roll max.
Yeah.
Granted, it wasn't total max. It was only one of them. It was only one of them being maxed out. He could have had like another 2 on top of that, but it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
From the current distance, you see her head turn to where you went. See the fact that she noticed the frogs did help you get out of the way. She's like shaking like a fucking leaf right now, and she's looking at you pleadingly. What are you doing?
I guess now that I've drank the potion, it only dealt 8
You
to
roll-
me the
you really-
last time.
I was going to tell you, like mechanically speaking, you realize if I high roll, you're not. It's not good news.
Yeah, I know. It's like that's what I'm also thinking. Because apparently I do have 2 potions of healing. So I'm also thinking about just chugging the last one, making sure I don't die.
It's up to you what you want to do right now. This is another current moment for what you're doing. What does Goslin want to do?
I think I will drink the other one as well.
Okay, and as a reminder, Jess, I'm not letting him do turn order right now, mainly because if I make it official for an official turn order, it'll be like action and bonus action and movement, and you can do all these wonderful things in that span, right? And it's like, no, you get to do one thing. What do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, whatever he does, he dies.
I mean, I was really
I'm-
close.
Well, he's at max health now, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
I'm kidding. Like, you don't deserve to die just because you kept your dump here as a secret.
And killed the other
Like-
frogs.
Well, Alina
I'm
and Kendrick don't know
trying
that
to
yet.
defend you. I'm trying to defend you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make it more difficult than it needs to be.
I mean, then again, you don't know what's actually happening, so.
Well, you had a shitty perception roll, so you don't either.
Yeah.
Not at least not with the frogs.
I haven't been making good perception rolls.
Have you seen all of the rolls that have happened today? Not you. You have been rolling like shit today, dude.
I know. I had one good roll so far.
Man, that sounds familiar.
Maybe he's taking all the bad rolls so you won't get them later.
Almost like 3 nat 1s in a row.
I
Or
had
like-
2 very close together.
Or like 2 nat 20s. Let's go.
And calling them.
Give me a perception check with advantage.
Still at advantage.
It's high enough. At this point in time, you realize her anxiety is going to heighten again, and you have a split. This is your split second reaction right before the dome is about to expand again. What do you want to do?
Kill her. Kill her.
Hug her.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go do.
I want you to realize, Jess, that you are highly underestimating the health of any of these given named NPCs.
I mean,
You know what? That's fair.
out of anyone, I think I would be able to with my max damage approach, but. will
I
make
mean,
sure-
if you're
you
not
are-
just murdering them in one turn, clearly it's a skill issue.
Exactly.
Well, technically speaking, even if you use that for like a level like 24 raw damage, all of the named NPCs have more than 24 health,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty annoying, right? And it's like, how much health do all these fuckers have, and you all have like less than 20 or some shit? Like, what the fuck's going on here? These are like because keep in mind these are meant to be like if you ever like somehow convince them to go along with you somewhere, they're not going to get killed off in a heartbeat and then be like, oh well, all the interactions that you could have ever had with that person are now gone forever. And so it's a little, in my opinion, plot armor.
No, my plan.
My plan.
Oh yeah, because Kendrick is so charismatic, right?
people like cats.
Maybe.
So you notice that's what is about to happen. And with that perception roll is why you get this chance in the first place.
Mhm.
So you said you're going to go and hug her and go back into it.
Yep.
Die.
Give me a this is a physical more than verbiage, so give me a persuasion check with advantage.
A advantage. Eh? It's better than the last few.
Eh? Eh?
Take 7 necrotic damage.
You know,
Hey,
it's-
good thing you drank the potion.
I would have still been up at this point, but still.
I know. It's like I'll remind you, like Jess, Wither and Bloom does 2d6 necrotic every time, any given for when it damages people. She has a persistently going on effect of it, and so anytime he spends one in between his quote unquote turns or reactions kind of things, he's being dealt 2d6. I actually rolled min and max on the 2d6. I rolled a 1 and a 6.
Man. Who knows? Gauss might die tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I did warn him.
Yes, he did. Both ways.
I warned him that if he rolls really bad tonight, he could die. He's like,
Mhm.
yeah. She looks to you, is shaking a little less in your embrace, but you can still easily feel just how literal and figuratively speaking shaken she actually still is. Um, but when you're this close, um, you you can even because you don't need a roll for this for perception, you can hear her in a very low voice. But it's still so it's barely audible than the swirling magic around you. But she's basically repeating the same thing over and over again. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. Give me an insight check.
Insight, not an advantage.
Nope.
I have the advantage clicked
Why do
off.
you keep on rolling with it, dude?
I clicked up of it. It still shows it.
See, this is why
That's
I
dumb.
query and not toggle.
I like toggle, so I don't
Yeah,
forget
shit
when
like
I
that
actually do have it. But it was a 19 either way.
You have yes, I see it. You have enough insight in this moment to realize that um, based on context, you obviously are realizing this has to do with the fact that you told her Professor Lang is dead, and from what knowledge you're able to glean, she is one of two things: one, confessing to you about the murder, or she is blaming herself when it's not her fault. But you don't have enough information to go on to know which one it is. So you don't just have like plot magic knowledge from just having a good insight check.
Yeah.
Like you need the two and the other two to put the two and two together.
Mm-hmm. I have part 1, but not part 2.
Exactly. So you don't know if she confessed to you that she's a murderer and she murdered your teacher, or that she's so messed up right now emotionally that she doesn't know what she's saying and she's just blaming herself.
Context clues for me, not the character. Definitely she's blaming herself even though she didn't do anything.
Yeah, but Gotham doesn't have enough context to know it. So right now you have a moment to react, what or do something. What does Gotham want to do?
Since I am able to overhear her repeatedly saying that, I will say, it's not your fault.
Persuasion at disadvantage.
If only. Oh, I got the 13 again.
I'm not making. I want you to know I'm not making like these checks. Like, oh, I need him to roll an 18, and it's like it's not that high. It's like some of these were just like 15 or some shit, but you couldn't make the 15.
Hey, I'm not a persuasive guy. I'm a noble. I don't need to be persuasive. I just am.
No, he's got a point.
Roll me a D percentile.
Another one. There, is that high enough for you?
Not for what I want you to roll. High enough to realize it's going to happen again, and you are put down to 1 health.
Oh, I didn't just take damage. I just go down to 1.
You feel the mark on your back heat up, and it hurts more than you can put into words.
So I got damage from my mark, not the spell.
You don't know currently.
Okay.
But you know it hurts like a bitch, and to the point where you're like, nope, I'm strong. I can suppress. I'm making it obvious that I'm in huge pain, and it's like, no, it hurts bad enough where even like the manliest man would be like, oh fuck, one of those moments. And yeah, you can't hide that it hurts like hell.
What a bitch.
Her eyes widen and she pushes you away.
All right, get close to her again. See if you survive.
I'm at 1. I can't.
The pain is slowly subsiding after a few seconds of not being near her, and I would need you. I would need you to give me an insight one. This is like a free action concept, so just give me an insight check if you know what the fuck's going on.
Okay. It's clicked onto normal. There we go.
Huh. That's a pretty good roll.
From what you can tell, your mark flaring up and your wound flaring up like that and giving you pain, it was if you had to put it into a motivation to understand why it happened, it's one of those you could consider it your let's call it a quote unquote patron. It's their way of communicating. Um, be grateful, bitch. I saved you.
Oh, okay.
And for the record, you needed to roll that, not necessarily that exact number, but you needed to roll really high to understand what the fuck happened. So it's good that you did.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'd be all kinds of messed up, like, what? I'm hurting with my work, and she did that, and oh my god, what's going on? But you realize that she is looking at you. How would you say Cosmin is currently dressed? Like his token?
Yeah, I would say in his robes because we just got out of class and he would definitely not change out of that if he's going to class.
You don't know what she's currently looking at. But if you have the peripheral to realize that your mark extends now not just on your back but down your arms up to the back of your hands. You can see blue veins like spreading throughout it like it were really bright blood vessels. And from what you can tell, how she's looking at you, you can probably guess that it's probably on your neck as well. And not to mention probably a lot of places that are now currently not visible because you're wearing robes.
Mm-hmm. I definitely have to go look at that later.
But at least one thing is for sure, you can definitely not hide there's some shit going on with your body and this connection.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a perception check.
Perception.
It's high enough to realize that to recall and realize that when you were saved, you got struck by lightning.
Mhm.
Man, that must have been shocking.
Fuck you.
Don't make me give him the weapon, Matt.
I was about to say you should have just given it to one of us.
Who would
What could I
actually use
say?
it?
I had
Nobody,
a
but we.
spark of inspiration.
Fuck you.
But it would be funny.
Jess, scroll up to the last short I linked in this channel.
Oh, was the last one in that channel? Yes.
So with this realization that your quote-unquote patron now seems to have a bit more connection with you, and you are more physically apparent that you're not just a regular fucking high elf or even high elf Dampier. There is a bit more going on that people probably start questioning things that you don't have answers to because of how visual everything is, unless you plan to really cover the fuck up. Um, you look at her, and she is and she just looks at you with a face of fear and confusion. That is just going along with her freak out. What do you want to do now?
Well, seeing as if I go any closer, I will die.
Go closer. I dare you. No balls.
This
Is that
isn't.
where Denver got it from?
This isn't.
No, I got it, Denver.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
For the record, this is a little metagamey, but I want to remind you that actually no, I don't give me a raw intelligence check from memory.
Intelligency. Hey, I rolled my intelligence, or did that?
You
just show my
realize that
intelligence?
from your interactions while being inside the necrotic area, you had enough time to do one thing before you ever took any damage. So you realize that if you can do something successfully, you might be able to get rid of it entirely and not have to take the last bit of damage.
Do I realize what it is?
You know, it's just that you remember, you're able to recall that every time you took damage, it was after you had tried something. So you had at least enough time to do something while inside there, or get in there and do something, to make an attempt at something before you took damage. And if you can make a successful attempt at something, you might get rid of it entirely, whatever it is, because you made an attempt earlier and somehow it shrunk after growing, and so you know it's possible. But this is intelligence check based on trying to put together a pattern of what could happen based off of what has happened. And so you realize that yes, you do have enough time to try one thing, even if you go right back in. And if it's successful, you might not have to take damage at all. But that'll depend heavily on what it is and if you can do it right. So what does Gotham want to do?
If I remember correctly, the last time it shrunk is when I went in and hugged her and said one thing, but I can't remember which thing I said made it shrunk. But I doubt if it would be the exact same kind of thing.
With the intelligence roll, I'll give you that repeating things from before will not have an effect. Just repeating yourself is not going to help it. Like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. After a certain time, after a certain point, it stops being words.
Yeah.
I think I know what would help. I know what you need to do.
Die.
No.
Oh. I hate that even though it's not playing, I know exactly what that is.
What it sounds like?
Yep. The funny thing is both you and I had the same thought, but I wasn't gonna say it.
It was like I saw the outlook on that.
So let me get this straight.
What that is.
Your suggestion is to fuck the anxiety and fear out of her.
Yes.
Originally, I was gonna do the Donald Trump grab her by the pussy, but I couldn't find a good enough gift for that.
You
so.
realize she's like crouched over and hugging her knees, kind of like standing up version of a fetal position, right?
Yeah.
There is no like way for an opening right now.
Uh, well, Goswin, what are you gonna do?
I will go in for another hug then. Since, if I remember correctly, that is what happened last time that caused it.
Oh shit! If you don't roll good enough persuasion, you're gonna die.
Yes.
Yes.
He goes in, hugs her. How is your approach? What demeanor are you trying to convey?
Well, I don't think that I can really change one part of demeanor, that I'm in pain. But trying to be like, hey, I'm not gonna leave. I'm here for you, kind of look. But I don't know how to really say that how I look like that.
Persuasion.
I got one higher.
Okay, so I want all of you to know the circumstances of this happening. She was having a panic attack. She saw him get struck by lightning, howl in pain, and come back to her like in a very shaky way. It's like, I'm okay. And try to hug her again, very awkwardly. Um, but in order to have enough charisma to drown out the last of her concerns about the current situation, I once again needed him to roll a 15.
One shy.
Now I will need you to roll a decent percentile one last time.
Hey, is that high enough?
Roll me a d3.
D3, you expect me to actually type that out?
Yes.
Alright, is that correct? Oh no, I need to put
Slash r
space.
space 1d3.
2.
Smack dab in the middle.
I wanted you to roll a 3. You kind of ruined my plans for later with this, but I guess this is happening. Um, uh, let's see. You are currently taken from her, like physically, because like roots are twisting around both of you. And I didn't realize was gonna happen. So this is lovely. I didn't think you'd roll this bad continuously.
I did.
Really, literally every single one of these rolls that bad. Come on. Come on.
I would
The
have
odds.
assumed I would have rolled bad on persuasion and such.
It's like, dude, if you didn't have the -1, you would have fucking made it. I want you to know that. That's why I wanted to make a point to have everyone
I
know
know.
that. You are both twisted up in vines and put out like you're doing a snow angel, but at the most extended. So all of your limbs are as far as away as they can be from all the other limbs. It's like that kind of stretched out limb, kind of spread outness for both of you.
Spread eagle.
But you're facing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, You see that she is taking damage.
No.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no. Do I
Do
take
it.
damage too?
No, I'm just seeing how much she took.
Oh.
Even for her health pool, this is not good.
I didn't want this either.
But you can see from her side that a weird bluish white light is flowing through the tendrils that are holding you two. Give me an insight check with advantage.
As a person, I believe I know where you're going with this. Advantage. How about an 8?
That's
No,
not.
I think you gotta go. I think you gotta go with 8.
I'm sorry, man. 8 is not a high enough number.
Fair.
Okay, in this moment, I'm gonna claim with an 8, you are freaked the fuck out and worried for her safety. Because
Well, yeah.
the constriction that she just got inflicted upon her looks like she immediately started bleeding from multiple places.
No.
She, mechanically speaking, she is beyond bloodied. She is lower than half health.
Oh no.
The same roots completely cover and obscure the whole area right now, and so you can't even tell where the frog corpses used to be to try to give the hat or whatever else back to your friends. For all you know, the frogs are just completely gone for good now.
Yep.
So the good news is there is no proof that they came and died.
Oh, I wasn't gonna not tell them about this.
You don't take mechanical pain damage from this, but your instead of your back hurting, it's literally your back and every single limb, all the way up to the back of your head. It's a dull pulsing pain. And you notice the pain pulse is like beating like a heart would, and the light or in the tendrils around her bleeding body is going at the same rate.
Is it me? Am I causing this?
With an 8, you don't fucking know. That insight roll was meant to check if you know anything about the tendrils connection to what's going on with you.
Mm-hmm.
You failed. So I need another D100.
Another.
This is getting out of hand. Now there's 2 of them.
You notice the vines constrict around her even more, and give me a perception check with advantage.
Advantage. I needed it that time.
Mechanically speaking, she's at 1 health.
Hey,
You're
twinsies.
both at 1. Who's gonna die first? I feel like you're both going to die, but the question is just who's gonna die first.
It's gonna be me. You're not even there. It's gonna be me.
I wanted to for some reason, like when he was like, "Is it me? Am I?" It reminded me of a GIF I wanted to post, and like you can find the GIF, but they took out the text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I found one earlier that I wanted to do, but it has no text, and I was like, this doesn't work.
For the record, not even this would have happened if you didn't roll 74.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna post the GIF anyway, and I'm gonna see if anybody realizes why they took out the text. And you know what? I can't blame them.
Nope.
Ah. I'm the only one who remembers what it said.
Oh, that's when he leaped into like the mentally handicapped person, huh?
Uh-huh. And he asks, he goes like, "I'm retarded?" And just like looks in the
It was in
mirror.
the early mid-90s. That's how they talked back then. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean, by today's standards,
Great show,
it's pretty
though.
offensive. I gotta get
Uh,
around to watching it.
it's only 5 seasons.
No wonder I
The
didn't
reboot.
really recognize it because the face there's like a face app with it too. That's
Uh,
why.
it's really shitty because the reboot just got really fucking woke with it.
Mm.
So I couldn't get into the reboot. Interesting concept though. So, based on that roll, you realize, yeah, in perception check, you realize she got down to 1 health, and it was it's another shooting pain from your body, in time with it, and this time it's not a dull pain; it's a more pronounced one. It's like one of those things, like it went from like a headache where it was like, you know what, I just got to get home, I can handle this. Let me just get through the day. No one better be an asshole right now. I'm gonna go off on him. To oh my god, I need pills. I need something. Fuck. It escalated for what you can handle physically because you don't have the best physical scores in the world. I'm sorry.
Well, that's kind of the point. But yes, I'm a wizard, not a barbarian.
Just a lizard wizard walking in a blizzard. Nothing to see here.
A lizard wizard in a blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a high elf Dampier, not a lizard folk, but okay, whatever.
Close
I
enough to
just
cover
been-
the word.
Blizzard.
I've just been watching a bunch of Robot Chicken
I
compilations.
know, but you could have phrased it like he was in a necrotic blizzard. It would have played well enough, but whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. From that, give me a D100 at advantage because you have a con modifier of 2.
At advantage. Wow.
Yeah.
So I just rolled 2.
I want you to know if you rolled both lower than 50 on both of them, you would have died outright.
Ah, damn it.
It was a possibility of happening, okay, Jess?
I don't know. Like, for some reason, a part of me always wants characters to die.
He could have just now. I didn't have control over what he was going to roll.
I didn't.
Yeah,
either,
that's why I'm upset. Because he didn't die.
even though I do have a fudge roller, even though I could.
Wait, you have fudge?
Well, if you look at the dice roller, you can hit the fudge button.
Okay, then give me a perception check.
Perception. Not at advantage this time, just a
Correct.
normal one.
What the fuck are you doing with that F?
What do you
I don't know. I just wanted to see what the fudge did.
I was also.
The vines around the two of you burn up in fiery magic. You notice, based on your studies, you have never really encountered one in person, but you see out of the corner of your eye, and for the record, you did need a super high roll like this. I'm not going to tell you the exact number, but you needed to be high to notice that you see what's casting the magic, and this is like at the edge of the horizon on your peripheral. Like even if you like turn your head like super over there and you look the best as you can, it's like barely visible through like other foliage and whatnot. There is a blue and red grung,
Oh.
Wrong.
and the grung is casting magic. The red one is.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Goslin doesn't know. Wait a minute, though. Give me a deck saving throw And I want you to know right now, this is a very important saving throw.
Just a dex saving throw.
Straight dex saving throw.
You know, I'm not bad at dex, but it just doesn't like me tonight.
So over at the Biblioplex, there is Kendrix and Alina still waiting for Goswin after Ancoretta left to go study because she's really upset with herself for failing a test in a class that she aced the last test. And so she had the logic of, I studied alone, I aced the test. I studied with you guys, I failed. Coincidence? Fuck you guys, I'm going to study. So she ditched you all in a frantic state in order to, like, recoup her GPA, basically. Um, I mean, kinda. She's now currently holed up in her room, not wanting to interact with anyone because she wants to study. Um, it worked out that she quit her job right before the test. To be honest,
And quit.
I didn't expect it, but she did. And for the record, if she didn't fail, I wanted to wait until after that exact moment. We're like, after the test, you all get paid, kind of thing. But so whoever didn't fail, they immediately got paid, and so it was a benefit it was a little tiny bonus for passing. But she quit before it happened, and so I was like, wow, already preemptively shit. Um, say it's been around 20 minutes of just like twiddling your thumbs after Ancoretta left, which is about a half hour after you were supposed to meet Goswin there, and so it's almost an hour after you were all supposed to meet there. What would and right, it's getting pretty boring at this point. So what would Kendrix and Alina be doing?
Should we go looking for them? Well, I mean, I guess Goswin?
Well, as much as I'm curious how the investigation is going to go, I highly doubt either they need to or will tell us anything. So, finding Goswin might help, although I think... Do we still have, like, clubs and work for the day?
Not today. That's how you had time
Okay.
to. That's how you had time to go tell people and walk around and do that kind of thing in the first place.
Okay, so
It's just that Urs McTalk is super diligent, and he's one of those guys who would work overtime without being paid because he's that diligent of a worker. He's a he's one of those people who are like, oh my god, why is he closing even though he wasn't scheduled to close? And it's like, because someone needed it and he was on the schedule, and it's like, is he gonna get in trouble for overtime? No, he's volunteering his time. Oh my god, he's gonna get taken advantage of one of these days. But
Fair enough.
he's that loyal to the scientific cause. So that's why you found him at work, because not all jobs have the same schedule. Who knew?
What?
Right? That's how you can go to stores when even on your day off.
That's fucking crazy.
Right. So yeah, no current job or extracurricular today, which is why you had the freedom to do what you've done so far, or wait around as you have done so far.
So if that's the case, maybe find Goswin and check on Goswin, and if
Both of you, give me an intelligence check to see if you remember what he said when he last left you.
I personally have no idea because I don't remember because it's been a couple of weeks.
I know, that's what I need to check.
Man, I don't remember what
Let's
I said
see.
last week.
The last time we played, the reason I was struggling to remember is because the last time we played, I had a lot of trouble sleeping, and I was pretty much out of it.
Well, you'll probably have done better than me.
Nope.
Never mind. Oh, we have the same modifier.
Yeah, we both dum-dums.
We're not dumb.
We're average. Okay, fine.
Exactly.
Says Alina, who aced his last test.
Hey, yeah.
You're like failing to ace, turning it around. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty much me in school.
Kendrick's also aced this last test, which was very nice.
You
Yeah,
aced both.
that's why you both got 2 student dice. To
No,
use
I
currently.
didn't ace both tests.
No, he only passed the first one.
Goswin
Yeah.
aced. No, Anchoretta. I think Goswin and Anchoretta aced.
You
the first-
reversed each other's scores. She aced, then failed. You failed, then aced.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
So, Kendricks remembers that Goswin said he had to go do something because it was, oh my God, she's dead. What's going on? Kendricks mentioned that he was going to get help. Alina said she was going to go tell people. And Goswin said he had to go do something too. And based on context, it was heavily implied that he was going to go inform someone of the death as well. You would have to give me further roles if you wanted to have further insight into this concept. But you hadn't seen him since then, but you all had agreed upon it to meet in the biblioplex at like a certain time, kind of thing. And yeah, and that's when Incoretta was alone, and she broke off one of the fingers and turned it into powder and put it in a vial. And then she
Did
kept
you
it.
say insight?
Yeah. It's like what the
Hey, I did better than you this time.
And I have double the multiple. I have double the modifier too.
that's high enough for both of you to realize that if he was going to want to tell anyone any of this, he didn't really have too many friends other than you.
What a loser.
Uh,
I mean, yeah.
and and it was obvious the main girl that Goswin was chasing was like the only other damn peer. Can you be more cliche, right? So you probably have to go look for Aurora, and by now you would have known around campus that she normally performs in the Bozen Tavern. And at the current moment, neither of you ever heard that she canceled her current performance for tonight. So last you knew, she's performing there tonight. So it's good. It's a good place as any to check.
Well, yeah. I guess we should go check the tavern then. What do you say?
Well, I don't have any other ideas. Sounds like a plan.
All right, let's go.
To the Bozen Tavern. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
I like hop on your back. It's like, let's ride. Oh, kidding.
I was about to say, I thought your character was vehemently opposed to riding shotgun on Kendricks.
I don't remember. But I do
Because,
think
like, there was
something.
an instance where we were trying to keep a conversation unnoticed, and Kendricks went to pick you up, and you were like, no.
I don't know. It's been a while. Been a while.
You two get to the Bows End Tavern, and other than the Owlin assistant manager and the half orc manager, there is no one of exactly noticeable, because it's like, oh hey, we should see our friends here, right? And it's like there are people there, but they're like all the other nobodies you kind of just see during class. You don't really know them, and they've never made themselves interesting enough to want to get to know. It's it's all the filler background people. You're like, no one cool is here. Ah.
I'll ask the two employees if they've seen our friend, and try to give. If they don't know, if they don't know,
They ask for a description of your friend, because just saying your friend doesn't mean anything.
yeah. I will try to sketch him.
Performance.
I think it's okay.
They ask if he's some kind of elf or something. Because
believe-
throwing someone in robes at this kind of school doesn't mean much.
I believe so. So I like look over at Kendrick's like some kind of elf, right?
I don't know what specific type, but he does appear to be an elf. A little pale, maybe.
Well, that's
He said
not
he
gonna-
was coming here to see someone.
Javanesh, the Owlin, is the one you're talking to, and he looks interested as you had drawn the picture. Like he genuinely thinks you know what you're doing, and he wants to show interest in what you're doing. So he was watching you as you did it. It didn't. However, you're capable enough artist, so it didn't really deter you having a captive audience like that during the process. if nothing else, for whatever reason, because you were too focused in this moment because of what needed to get done. Uh, and he was like putting a claw to some of his feathers, that because he doesn't really have a chin to say much of one, but where his chin would be, it was like one of those things like someone scratching their chin, but he's an Ellen, so it's a little weird to look at. He's like, oh yeah, um, that guy, yeah. He mentioned that he came a little earlier. He spoke to their talent, and they immediately canceled their show for the night, which is a disappointment because of how popular she is. That Aurora Luna Winterstar, and he says it like like Lee Harvey Oswald, where it's like obviously you say the whole thing in one go, right?
It's like a pimp named Slickback. You got to say the whole thing.
Yeah. Because Javanish and Tesca, they're used to saying her name as one because she's been around them so much and insisted so much. Um, so yeah, he came around and talked to Aurora Luna Winterstar, and you get the feeling that without even an insight check, you realize that because you probably realize what he was going to say or do, and for whatever reason, she had a bad reaction to it, enough so to cancel her show that tonight. And she was with a couple friends, but he doesn't currently remember who they were at the time. Because she's by a lot of fans, period. So, and there are a couple of people who like frequent or have seen multiple times around her, but it's not a consistent, nonstop thing where she always saying that was just the same couple of people kind of thing. So he couldn't really tell you who she was with at the time. Um, but she left, and then really soon after, almost like he was waiting for her to leave, and your friend left and seemed to follow her with a determined look in his eye.
Do you know where they went?
He's stalking her.
He looked at you with a deadpan expression. Out. He was busy. He was busy being assistant manager in Bo's End Tavern. He just know they left the fucking building. They didn't discuss their plans.
Hmm.
Huh.
Huh?
But he would have mentioned that concept a lot more nicely. I just wanted to get that point across to you.
Oh. Well, I guess we know they were here. That's a start.
It
Maybe-
is, but where would they go?
Maybe somebody else in here saw where they went.
Does
Hey,
that mean
background characters, do you know where the main characters went?
that's kind of what you is that what you're tending to do?
Pretty much.
That's not how I'm going to say it, but yeah.
Just show them the
You
same
understand,
stat.
Voss, not every single little NPC can have its own token. That's not reasonable.
So I'll just
I'm
like
aware.
I'll
That's
just like
not
go
stopping
around.
me from trying with my campaign.
Yeah, I'll go around with the sketch, asking people if they saw which direction he went in when he left.
Many people say they don't know. They've seen him around the campus, but they don't know where he is right now. Other people, a couple of people that you see in Prismari get-ups, they mention that that could have been better. Did you even really try?
I just found my teacher dead in the classroom. Get off my back.
They rebuttal that's exactly what that awesome event should have spurred you on for your art to inspire you to make even greater heights, and this is what you come up with.
I think Alina would just like roll her eyes and just like she like rolls her eyes, shakes her head, and just walks away from them.
I'm sorry, not everyone's not bitchy. Just because someone's into art and expression doesn't mean they're not annoying.
Most of them are.
That's kind of the point. So yeah, the fact that you brought up the death didn't really do anything for the two Prismari people you were talking to. Would Kendricks bring up that factor as well? or just keep that close to his vest for the moment, kind of thing.
I'm annoyed I don't have speak with plants yet.
She's here.
Hello? Can you hear
Hello?
me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello. I literally just left work. I'm on my way home.
So we're going to see if they can save Matt before his character dies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great.
Alina, Kendricks, I want you to both roll me investigation.
Well, I can do that. I might not do very good, but I can do that.
So
And I
Denver,
didn't do too bad.
So Denver, this is how my character was. You can look at that later.
Wait, what?
I sent a thing that is basically how.
Oh,
my character
man.
was.
Oh,
God, I
you
love
and
that
I have
spell.
the same bonus on investigation, by the way.
It's like you had the same intelligence.
So after asking around the Bosun Tavern, you both regroup and put together the information you've collected so far, which was Bup and Kiss. So, with what little information you do have, what can you glean from it? Despite appearances, Alina is strangely deductive right now, and she came up with the answer. The fact is that if Aurora Luna Winterstar is kind of freaking out, she maybe wanted to go to a safe place or wanted to go home, like a screw you guys, I'm going home moment. She does stay at the dorms over in the Witherbloom part of the campus. So that might be an area to check out.
What do you think, Kendricks? Sorry. What do you think, Kendi? Should we go there?
Well, if she tends to keep her base of operation around there, that would be a sufficient place to start.
Right.
Worst case scenario, we're no closer to where we were.
Well, I would say worst case scenario, we're further away, but let's try anyway.
We can't get any further than no information.
All right. Well, let's.
To the Witherbloom campus.
Okay, let's see.
We end up like
no,
right
solid
here.
ground.
There's just a wall of vegetation. We can't see or hear anything over here. So we're just like, man, where are these two? And we just go back.
You two are up there in the corner. Kendrick's is a little more used to this area, mainly because you have it's one of those you've read books that go into the different areas and and what their natural occurring features are and everything.
And I've had to be here a couple of times, once for job, and
Yep.
Also, he's a groundskeeper.
or was it
Makes
twice
sense.
for a job? Well, technically it was my job, and then I helped.
And you guys had to go to Sedgemoor for Arcana Botany, and you had to cut through here before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you frequent here enough to know every single in and out of where to go.
No, I'll agree with that.
I'm almost home.
And Coretta's in her room studying because she doesn't like that she failed. Because fuck that. She aced the last test.
No.
What's wrong with her this time? Fucking people in fucking study groups.
They're cursed.
You two arrive in this area, and you don't know where he is from here. What would your characters do, realizing that you're kind of knowing this area, but you're kind of not really knowing this area? But you might think like, okay, they got to be here somewhere, right? Where the fuck would I look? Fuck. It's getting to be the point of time of day where not many people are even around to even ask like ambient bystanders. Because it's like they already left to go to the Fire Drill Cafe or the Bosun Tavern or stay in their dorms kind of stuff. Like many people are already just not around you.
So
It's not like a quote unquote curfew. It's just that you don't have anyone around you currently.
I guess I would like point over in this direction and just be like, maybe that way.
Ping.
He did.
I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it
Sorry,
was
I didn't
really
see
quick
that.
on my screen too.
I was about to say mine was not that ping was not on my screen at all, so I had to scroll to see the second one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You check over there. I'll check a little further south.
Split up the party. Okay.
Doodly-dip-dip.
Yep,
Okay, I'm home.
From here is where you can see what I linked earlier, Voss. Is that it was very obvious a Quandrix installment not native to the Witherbloom area, and with your passive insight, you could figure out that some Quandrix guy, not too dissimilar to yourself, was annoyed about how everyone in Witherbloom they just happened to know where to go, and this fucker got lost all the time. And so he was like, "Oh, screw that!" And so he made his own fucking signs, and it was like it's like a little floating magical sign. That's what I posted up earlier. That looks like a little arcane little like pointer and everything. And that's where it shows like this is this way, this is this way, kind of stuff.
I will make a note of it to come back and study it a little further when we're done.
Because it seems like it was made by a higher year student than you, because it has an interesting construct for because it was magically created, and it is accurate. Um, from as far as your knowledge of the campus goes, because there are no other signs to say, hey, this main dorm's this way in any natural looking Witherbloom stuff. It's just like you're living off the land. You're in this area. Let nature be your guide. Kind of hippie dippy concept. As you're probably okay with that as a druid, but you can respect the need for a little structure from being Quandrix oriented.
Yeah.
But also, it's a little overstepping to do this kind of thing in Witherbloom territory.
Well, maybe they shouldn't make their shit so confusing.
I will need a perception from Kendrix at disadvantage.
Doodly doodly ding dong tick tock.
Bep.
Over here, you see vines twisted in a noticeably unnatural way. It's only out of the corner of your eye, but that's what you notice. Did you want to get your
over here?
Over here, yeah. Did you want to get Alina's attention to come help you before she gets too far away?
Absolutely. Let's see.
Would you go near her or like yell for her or what?
Actually, I think.
Because she is an earshot of you.
Oh. I mean, if that's the case, then I'll just say it.
Like, yo, Alina, come on!
Huh? Oh, did you find something?
Something unnatural.
Matt, roll me 3d20.
3? 9, 11, and 1. I'm upset that it went
9/11/2001. What the
Yeah,
fuck,
it is
dude?
what that is.
Jesus Christ!
I didn't even think
Oh
about
my.
that.
I don't think you need insight as players to know what that was for.
I need insight because I have no clue what that was for.
As a player?
Denver keeps calling me even though she knows I'm sitting here in call playing.
Properly for
Game.
once, I might add. No offense.
Like,
Well, she can hear you, I assume. Why doesn't she just unmute and speak?
I don't know.
She is in the call.
Hi guys, what's up?
Exactly.
It sounded like you were trying to get Jesse's attention.
Oh, I was.
Yeah,
Hi.
but you know I'm sitting here playing the game. You could have just jumped into the call with us.
I didn't hear. I was too busy in the kitchen. I needed help, but I'm okay now.
Now that you're both over there, you see a little bit gnarled vine, but it's easy to go around it kind of thing. uh, and to go around it, like kind of thing, like it twisted in an unnatural way, and you can go around it. But you see the what looks like unconscious bodies of both Aurora and Goswin. Both of them look bloody.
Extremely bloody.
And Goswin and Kendricks would notice the difference because the lightning bit you saw flash in on his back before, those same markings are all the way up his neck, almost to his chin, and all the way down his hands. And nor he's wearing too much thick robes and stuff, so it's not like it's not like you would notice too much else for where they visibly show, but it obviously was only on his back before, and now it's spread.
So, would I know if Dompiers have a pulse or not?
Intelligence.
Let's see.
Not bad.
Merlin.
It is an extremely weak pulse, but with a 15 intelligence check, you realize that could be because the Dampier is close to death, or that is just because they're a Dampier and their pulse is naturally weaker than normal. So it doesn't really help you, but you know a pulse is there. But it's really fucking obvious that they're not in good shape, being unconscious and bloody.
Because honestly, what I was asking was like, would I even know if it was like, if there was a point to checking like,
You
do
would know.
Dompiers
With
know?
a roll, your character would know. You
So
realize
then,
that Aurora does have a pulse. Does Kendricks do anything?
Kendricks is gonna attempt healing cure wounds on my friend.
Okay, burn your spell slot.
Hey, I'm not.
Yo.
hey,
pretty
twin.
excited, I'm
Alina
dead.
did cure wounds. Who'd you do cure wounds on for Alina?
Aurora Luda Winterstar. I was gonna do both, but then he took Oswin.
You see some of the wounds heal up on Aurora, and she wakes up in a very groggy, emotionally distressed state. You don't think your spell did anything, Kendricks?
Oh,
Are you okay, Aurora Luna Winterstar?
She almost immediately starts crying and shaking, and uh, and just repeating over and over again. Immediately hugs her knees. Like, I did it. It's all my fault.
I'll like put an arm around her and like pat her on the shoulder, telling her
She's
it's
staring
okay.
directly at Goswin.
And I'm like trying to comfort her, like it's okay, it's okay.
Healing potion then.
So you're saying you use your healing potion from your inventory and put it down Goswin's throat?
Yep. I'm gonna drown this motherfucker in healing.
Okay. Remember to move it
Something will work.
Remember to remove it from your inventory.
Already did.
Okay. Give me a medicine check or Arcana.
While he's trying to do that, I would like to just like while he's trying to do that, I want to just like check for a pulse.
So if I were to do medicine, it's wisdom, so it's +2. But if I were to do arcana, it's intelligence. But I'm proficient, so it would be +2.
What would Kendricks do in the moment though?
Medicine.
Give me a medicine because you're trying. If you're trying to do more than one thing at once. If you're trying to console and make sure that Aurora Luna Winchstar is okay, along with checking it, I'll need you to make a check instead of just being able to check easily like last time. So I'll need a medicine check from you, Alina.
Yeah. Oh, well, what I imagine she do is like when she sees Kendricks try to heal him and nothing happens and all, she would like let go of Aurora and like come over to check. But yeah, medicine, come on. 14.
My medicine was a 17.
I saw. Alina, you check for the pulse just like last time. You're checking for a weak one, but you don't find one. Kendricks, you realize the potion isn't working because Goswin is dead.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna tell him I was gonna be like, he doesn't have a pulse at all.
You both
I
realize it at the
That's
exact same
because
time.
he was. I thought that's because he was undead.
You know what? That is fair.
Then
Wait
why
a
would
minute.
you try to attempt to heal him if he's
Dude.
undead?
Wait a minute. I don't remember if I knew if Aurora was a dumpier.
Intelligence.
Kendricks doesn't know. Either way.
No, there was no way I knew.
She's pale and a little goth, but I mean, come on.
So then, because like I said, that was the whole thing. Was like,
Look, that's her
Dude.
shtick. She's a goth rocker.
yeah, because like for me, that was the whole thing. Was like, do Dompiers even have a pulse? Like, am I checking for something that even if she's alive, won't be there?
Alive, quote unquote.
For the record, I did have to look that up, but yeah, the Dampiers do have a weak pulse.
Yep. There's actually a trait for the Dampier where your pulse beats so infrequently it startles you when it happens.
But like with the previous intelligence roll, I would at least know that a Dompier should have a weak pulse.
But still a pulse
Right.
nonetheless, correct.
Yeah. So then the fact that he doesn't have one is just like,
All. It's not
yeah.
it's not like, oh, maybe some Dampier, maybe a Dampier isn't as frequent as I thought. What's going on? Huh? Because you knew that she was weak, but that could have just been from her current state of being
Yeah.
unconscious kind of thing. You weren't sure.
Wait.
You weren't sure. What?
Hold on.
Yes?
Can you fill me in on this? I feel like I missed something in the time that I transferred to the house. Right? Like,
Yes.
Did he
Yeah,
die,
Goswin
die?
died.
Yeah, to get you up to speed, Goswin died.
To catch you up to speed, I went
Damn,
into
what'd
a
y'all do?
life-draining essence, and the frogs ended up going with me.
So, well, not all of them.
Well,
Okay,
some of them.
so, we started this session off with Matt failing a strength saving throw for being sucked near a necrotic magical vortex.
And boy, did he get sucked.
Man, yeah.
And he ended up having to burn both healing potions he had on him to get at full health again. He kept on trying to basically hokey pokey and peekaboo back in and out of the fucking vortex to get damage and try again and again in different ways to calm her down from having a panic attack. He was terrible at trying, but he kept trying. He went to 1 health 2 separate times. And he ended up making enough rolls that barely saved him. One of the rolls was a point where 2 of the 4 frogs that were lost came in out of nowhere as frogs and basically helped as little as they could to get him over the limit and push him out of the way, and they died in his stead. The orange and purple frogs are now officially dead.
Oh.
Right before
Which we would probably notice the 2 husks of our fallen froggy
it's completely
friends.
covered in gnarled vines nearby Goswin's corpse. They're under the weirdly gnarled vines. They're blackened because of the fire damage to them, but you just know it's blackened for part of the gnarled vines and magical vines brought up because you've seen Entangled. You used it before. You realize there are ways you can do magical vines, but you don't really have a current reason to want to check under the vines right now, because that's where the corpses would be with your fucked up top hat.
So
and Goswin died knowing the truth about your other 2 frogs.
that
Is he
they
gonna
were
come back as
actually deities.
Is he gonna come back as a force
That's
ghost?
pretty cool.
Froggy forced ghosts.
No, Goswin. I want Goswin to come back as a ghost.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question correctly fully. Will he what?
Come back as a force ghost.
This isn't Star Wars, so no.
D&D doesn't have like an equivalent.
Kendricks, seeing his comrade currently shed the mortal coil, and her not exactly in a good state. He's gonna pick up Goswin, throw him over his shoulder, and then he's gonna princess carry Aurora Luna Winterstar, and we're gonna go find some people who might be able to help.
Give me an insight check about trying to do that with Aurora.
I'll instead of that, can I just like try to like get her up and like arm around her and like, come on, let's go find help.
Persuasion with advantage for Alina. Alina is able to convince her to go with her. Aurora and Luna wants her to go with Alina. And so Kendrix would probably approach her to be like, okay, I got Goslin, your turn. Oh, okay, you're walking away? Okay, whatever, fine then.
Well,
That's
I'm
about
going.
how it was gonna be.
Yeah, I'm going with him, but it's like, you don't try to pick her up when she's distressed. Let's try don't do that. Just don't do that.
If you're more comfortable that way, we can do it that way.
With that high of a roll, you notice, Alina, that if that would have happened and Kendrix would have carried her like that in her distressed state, something bad could have possibly happened with but you're not sure what. You just had a really bad vibe about what almost happened.
Well, good thing I did. All right, we'll follow.
Not to
We'll
mention,
follow
you
you,
both
Kendrick.
notice that the grass in this area, I did a bad job of showing it because I want to put too much shit here. The grass all around you in a perfect circle is all dead. Not like, oh, it dried out and died naturally. No, it is like blackened out of and unnaturally dead.
Like a wither and
You
bloom
notice
spell kind of dead.
what?
Like a wither and bloom spell kind of dead.
Yes.
Oh my god, I was just okay. Yeah.
Kendrix, you notice this is the same kind of decay that happened at one of your topiaries.
I will make a note, but I will say nothing.
All right.
Kendricks will remember this. And meanwhile, I need to go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
What a loser. He's supposed to be leading us.
I want you to scroll up, Denver, and see all the rolls done by Goswin tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let
All
me
the-
see. Let me look.
All the bad
Guys,
rolls.
guys.
So,
Mhm.
so Matt, you have a backup character in mind?
Oh yeah.
Oh, but I put
Okay,
some cards.
Goswin rolled like a 9, 23, 12, 17, and Kendricks 4 and 20. Alina 10 and 20. Goswin 11. Then Goswin rolled the 4-11-0. The session started with the 4-11-0. I want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, I just feel bad because like the one person who has a revivify spell is not here.
Correct.
But fucking one time somebody's dying.
I mean, how long does that have effect?
1 minute.
Oh yeah. So yeah, no.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah.
I mean, he
Oh,
would have been
man.
dead longer than a minute by the time you even
no
got
one
there.
around was no one around was the correct class to do the spell like the spell like his character is doing all the fucking time in the other session. In the other module to make sure the dead's not going to yeah, like there's a clerics and paladin ceremony that basically you can like it's not, I'm not sure if it's gentle remote. I think it's like something with ceremony or gentle repose, one of the two, where you don't just make sure they can't become undead, you stall time and so resurrection spells will still work within that time window. You stretch the time window of those.
Gentle
I think
repose.
I think Benedict has that.
That's sexy.
But Kendrix and Alina do not.
I just have Mage Hand.
If someone else had won the thing, if either one of them, for the record, the last thing Goswin rolled, did you see the three numbers?
Yeah,
Mhm.
9/11 2001.
Fail, pass, double fail.
Oh, that's what that was.
Oh, 3 death saves.
Oh,
I'm back,
no.
baby.
You took time to get to them. Time elapsed.
Oh no.
So we just found out what those 3d20s were. Boss. It was 3 death saves.
That does not surprise me.
Oh my goodness.
For the record, if you saw that, Denver, I did try to give him a chance at saving himself again and again and again with every D100.
Yes.
And he just kept being like, I want to die.
Well, Jesse
Take me,
did
sweet
say no
dad.
balls.
One of the time, 2 frogs saved him. The other 2 time, as characters, the guys know this, so I'll let you know this since you're late. One of the last things Goswin noticed before light faded from his vision was the fires that saved him from crippling and destructive vines that were hurting both seemingly both himself and Aurora Luna Winterstar. Because I want you to realize, Jess, that Alina healed her from being unconscious. She was on her way to becoming stabilized, but she had two passes into fail. She wasn't technically out of the woods yet. Um, and so the heal was needed. She was at 0. But before Goswin fully faded, he saw that there were 2 grungs, one blue and one red. And they were at the like the horizon of his peripheral vision. Okay, sure.
Clean
misclick.
cuts and still cuts a tomato.
Didn't do
Is
that
that
before.
required?
What?
Oh, that's because she went on her phone on the way, not her computer.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about that.
I thought she had already switched over. Weird.
No, I did. It's just I accidentally clicked out of the call.
Oh my god.
So yeah, he saw 2 grung that happened to match the colors of your other frogs. But no one. But after that happened, the red one did fire magic on the vines holding the 2 of them, and then they fled back into the foliage.
So they don't even see if I'm alive. How dare?
I had you roll a dex save because you were like 5 to 10 feet up in the air.
Oh yeah, I assumed that was the reason.
Yeah, like can you make a good? Can you even make a good landing? You're at 1
No.
health. No, you can't make a good landing. Aurora didn't either. That's why she had to do also had to make saves. But yes, Aurora didn't fail, and you rolled the nat 1, man.
Yeah.
I gave you so many chances. Your patron tried saving you. The frogs tried saving you. Sapping the health from Aurora to make sure you were alive in turn tried saving you. But nope.
Well, you could have told me
It
to roll
wasn't meant
actual
to be.
death saves. I would have made those.
What?
You could have had me roll actual death saves. I would have made those.
How?
No, I'm joking.
Well, all we know is
Because plot armor, obviously.
Exactly.
all we know is Goswin's dead, and I am trying my best to console Aurora Luna Winterstar.
Give me an insight check while you're walking with her.
Just
Insight.
Alina or both of us?
You're focused on making sure you have good enough balance, and you're focused on where you're going, because even though there's a quadric sign there, it doesn't mean they exactly knew everywhere over here. So it's like, it's like one of those signs where it's like, it's like a sign at LA saying New York is that way. It's like, yeah, no shit. It's like kind of like that. So you have to decipher the sign properly, then get to another area and decipher that sign to get your fucking way out of there. Or you can give me an intelligence check because Kendrix is leading the way while they're walking behind you at a slower pace, following where you go. So
That's fair.
That's why I'm saying Kendrix.
Although I don't want to
have the
get
roll.
too far ahead of them at all.
Well, I mean,
in
you
case
have
something
high enough
happens.
perception to hear they're walking behind you to know if you're going too fast or not at any given time.
That's kind of what I'm trying to. I'm trying to keep a respectable distance.
I'll tell you what I told Matt earlier, Jess. She's keep on reporting. She's saying really quietly to herself, not in a thing of like I can't let anyone else hear me, but as a just more out of it kind of tone, where you realize you're guiding her, or she wouldn't be walking anywhere right now without you like pressing on her lower back and keep on pushing her forward, kind of thing. She keeps on like repeating something to the effect of "I did it and it's my fault" and "Oh my god." And she found like basically some version of those things over and over again, and periodically looking directly at Goswin and then looking down. For your high enough insight check, you don't you can tell that it's not because she's uncomfortable with death. She has zero issue with death, but she didn't. She looks. It's like it's more out of shame for why she's looking away from Goswin.
She killed somebody that she actually liked.
And for the record, she's not in a current state to really explain what happened with what happened to her / what happened to Goswin this whole time either. So she's not a reliable witness right now to know what the fuck happened to him.
I am not tactless enough to start demanding answers from someone who is distressed.
Nah, I'm just trying to give her like comforting words, like it's okay. It's
But-
okay, you're fine.
You two don't need a check to realize that she is very likely the only witness to actually know or could give you answers, though, to what happened. Based on the current area for what you know of her, what you saw of the area, because they were in dead. Both the two of them were in the dead center of the dead grass circle, and the roots that came up through the dead ground, the tops of them were burned, but they were still a little bit protruding out of the ground regardless. And they were at the they were like they fell at the sides but of the roots, but yeah, whatever. The fact is, it was it's like there's some shit that went on there, but you don't know exactly what, and she really is obviously the only witness you're ever gonna have. Despite not being a currently be a good witness right now, she is the only shot you have at getting one. Because you didn't know that there happened to be grung nearby. So yeah, where is it you intend on leading her, or taking Goswin?
Probably to some staff who would be able to help us.
Give me
The
a history
closest
check.
staff
Give me a history
facility.
check for a Kendricks.
Man, I am so good at this. I mean, I have an amazing modifier.
Woo! Damn, homie, that is you fucked that up.
Hey, he didn't roll in that one though.
I meant that to sound like you fucked that up in a good way, not like you fucked it up in
Not
a bad way.
every roll is an end all be all. That roll was determined that if you knew offhand, based on your memory of reading maps and different stuff like that about the campuses, like where the nearest building easily could get to. So this burns a bunch of time, and you kind of get lost. Give me a perception check, because people are now out and about at night, like going home from the Fire Jolt Cafe and Bozen Tavern, like the people who are going home early because they've had their fill. You overhear people talking about how they're annoyed that their classmate got invited to, oh god, Captain Dapplewing's manor and they didn't get to. Their friend is such a fucking teacher's pet. It's not even funny. They can't believe that they have all kind of like student teacher parties there all the damn time. Like it's obvious favoritism. Ugh. You overhear that as others walk by on a nearby path because you have really good fucking hearing. Alina is too focused on helping Aurora Luna Winterstar and it doesn't really catch it.
Would I at least notice that like Kendricks doesn't really know where he's going?
Insight or
Okay.
raw. You can be insight or raw intelligence, one of the two.
I think she's for
Based on what
I'll
you're
do
gonna do.
insight.
Yeah, because are you trying to because it depends on would you intellectually figure it out, or would you kind of get the vibe that he's kind of lost and things aren't going right?
More so like she's getting a vibe that it's like does he know where he's going?
Like
what's
it's just like is this like idiotic confidence talk going on? Like what's going on?
So that would for the vibe it would be insight, right?
Yes, go ahead and give me insight. This motherfucker lost. He had you around for the last hour and a half doing fuck all because it couldn't get you to find anywhere useful.
Kendi, do you need some help?
I'm not familiar with this part of the campus. So yes.
Give me a perception check for the two of you.
But I also didn't want to interrupt you. Perception. Oh boy.
You see signs, at least color based, that you are actually near the Loreholt area. Like if you continue on your current path, you'll enter the Loreholt campus area.
Do you think we should go to Lorehold, or should we try to go somewhere
I
else?
was just trying to find the closest staff building.
Well,
Uh,
I guess that would be Lorehold.
Give me intelligence, both of you.
Not bad.
Boop.
Both of you are able to realize that you got lost enough where you obviously did not find the nearest the nearest faculty member, and that you kind of meandered around at least halfway around the central campus because you were that bad at directions, and you remembered the map that badly that you basically almost went around all the important places like Bosun Tavern or Fragile Cafe where some faculty members sometimes hung out, or but you realize you've heard the name Captain Dapplewing's Manor before about the fact not to mention that is a lot of times where faculty does go with students, but it's kind of it's not nothing is near where you are except the Lower Holt campus because you meandered and that much in the wrong direction again and again and again. And Goswin is starting to feel a little cold by this point, noticeably so, and he's starting to stiffen up in like a really funky position.
Well, it can't get any worse.
Or can it?
Wouldn't he have pants full of dookie right now?
I'm ignoring that.
Fair
You
enough.
don't know why, but he doesn't.
Huh. Oh, Dampiers must not shit.
If that's what you want to gather from it, that's what you gather from it.
All
Okay.
right. Well,
And
would
for
I
the
know where
record-
the closest faculty building is from here?
Let's see. Faculty building, not especially. You're kind of like you're kind of like right here, and people are meandering, but they're obviously the kind of people who wearing the Loreholt colors, so you're passing by them, but they're obviously going to the campus because that's where they're sleeping and shit.
How about I mean, I'll get the attention of some of them and be like, we're in desperate need of help.
Persuasion with advantage.
It's almost like you're a charisma caster. You should be able to get this.
Fucking
God damn it.
hey, fuck you. Hey, I don't want to hear anything from you, Mr. Dead.
Hey, you're supposed to be more persuasive than that.
So, they look at you because you're like, please, we're not straits, but you come off like a little freaky, and it's like you're trying a little too hard here. And they just like back away like you're just a weirdo they should avoid. And they start walking a little faster than normal than they would have otherwise to get away from you.
She would like call after them, just like, our friend is dead and our other friend is clearly in shock.
Persuasion with disadvantage.
Watch me do better. Ah, come on.
They were already freaked out by you, so that's why there's a disadvantage. It's like your last attempt kind of thing, and so it was only a 6. Sorry.
Fuck. Well, that
They,
didn't work.
from your passive insight, you can tell that they're probably realizing they don't fully believe you because it's dark and they couldn't tell off of her face because she's kind of already goth looking, and if she has like tear drops of like black running down her face, it could just be her look. They don't judge. Um, and so they don't necessarily see her in the best light currently, and or they couldn't tell offhand that what Kendricks was carrying was a body.
It was just somebody.
It was a thing that he was carrying. There are plenty of things you can. It's too heavy to carry over your shoulder, especially the bring a big, strong lion man to get it. I don't know. They weren't concerning themselves with that. They were just going back. They were just going back to bed.
All right. Last ditch attempt. I
Go ahead.
I want to. I gotta check something.
Because right now you're right by Aurora, who still seems pretty out of it and is not looking like she would help in any way if you asked her to help in your endeavor.
I would like to cast my dancing lights, pretty much like at the max range, like 120 feet up in the air,
Give
and
me an
have them.
give me an intelligence check with advantage.
And I want them to basically like flash in like an SOS pattern.
With high intelligence, you would realize and have enough memory of the school that they don't want too many safety concerns. Right now, where you're currently standing is between a bit of lights. It's like a well enough lit pathways, so no one's fully in the dark at all times if you keep on going. But you realize that based on this campus, there are enough interspersed lights in the air and close up to the ground to guide people that people may not think that you're dancing lights as an SOS. It's just some other weird magical light that's going on at school.
Damn it.
Fuck it. We'll just go to the Biblioplex.
Give me a history check to see if you remember the campus well enough again from your previous treks here to know your way from where you are, because you normally don't come from this way. I need that specifically from Kendricks. Now, I'm not saying you don't find the Biblioplex. You do find it. When you get there, it's closed.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna keep banging on the door.
Give me an intelligence, a raw intelligence check with advantage. It's locked after hours with arcane magic, and there is not an actual person inside to answer.
Cool, so we just wasted several hours because rolls are shit. Got it.
That's the night.
Both of you, roll me a D100. Are you trying to compete with the other Matt for bad rolls here tonight? Like, what's going on?
I'm
No.
really surprised you're asking that when you've seen how Roll20 treats me. I got
You got a
three fucking nat ones in a row.
I'm not gonna
That
punish you by
20
saying,
is a goddamn star in the night. Completely wasted, by the way.
You've been to Biblioplex, you've read pamphlets and informational things about it, so you had a really good recall about details about going there after hours or what its business of hours and details about it, kind of thing. That's what it was for. So, for the record, I only needed one of you to roll above a 20 for this to work, so it worked out barely. Um, A person who looks like they would work at the biblioplex was walking by, and they seemed to be coming a little. With your passive perception, Kendricks, you notice that they're a little tipsy. They probably come from the Bows End Tavern and got some things that only faculty are really allowed to have, kind of thing. Yeah. Um, but you're not sure at a glance about whether they're in a current state of being helpful or not. You came across faculty, but you came across a drunk faculty member.
Doesn't
Let's
matter. Dealing with them.
Okay, by all means, you're free to approach. Alina, would you stay back with Rora Luna Winterstar, or would you try to approach the drunk faculty member with Kendricks?
I think I would still be with her, like my like arm around her shoulder, like kind of like trying to like pat her shoulder, console her, and just make sure she's okay.
Denver, not to
Yeah.
not to reward your lateness, but because I kind of feel like 1% bad about one of you dying due to you not being there. Because you devoted yourself to studying, I will give you a flat +1 bonus on your next time you take a test on your rolls for it.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It only cost Gosman's life.
It was not my fault I had to work. Okay, college is more important than D&D.
And for the record, Anchoretta is still unaware of Gosman's situation.
I figured as much.
Why aren't you
So,
using your Yeti anymore? It sounds really shitty.
Because
Because
I
she
don't want
got
to
rid of
explain
it.
this again.
Because she doesn't like wires.
Uh,
Oh my god.
It's a dumb reason. We all know it.
Matt, you
Yep.
could suck my.
Kendricks, as you approach the faculty member, they see you coming and they try to compose themselves. And from what you can tell from just passive perception, because you do have a really good passive perception, they do a good enough job to be like, I'm not drunk. What's up? Kind of thing. How you try to like act. Obviously, you're like the person you're about to talk to cannot know you're drunk. Can you pull it off? They can pull it off pretty well, apparently. Fuck.
we have a bit of an emergency. We found a student dead and another one distraught. We need assistance.
His eyes widen at your declaration, and he pulls. Both of you, give me an Arcana check.
I am theoretically okay at this.
I didn't do too good.
Kendricks would realize. Okay, first I'll say what Alina sees, and then I'll say what Kendricks notices.
Mhm.
Both of you see that he takes what looks like a glowing, a strange shaped rock with some markings on it, and he whispers into it frantically. Kendricks realizes it's like a speaking stone. Um, so it's possible that plenty of faculty members have this kind of magical device to make sure if anything goes wrong or there's an emergency, they have one on them. Um, um, but give me an insight check, Kendrick, since you know what it is.
Insight. Alright. I am theoretically good at this.
It was a
You are.
for the record, no, that was almost a waste of another nat 20 because this is a flat yes or no. Did you notice this or recall this kind of weird that this was out of place? You realize that when you had found her corpse, the dryad teacher that was dead didn't have this kind of speaking stone anywhere near her. Not on the table, not tucked in any weird branch in any gnarled way. Nothing. And it wasn't because she was a dryad and there's no pockets or some bullshit.
That would be dumb. Yes.
Basically, yeah, that's why I wanted you to roll for it. You roll well enough, and you can and do remember this. So there's that. I don't know if you're individually taking notes, but it's like I don't want. If you remember this, I guess you could try writing it somewhere. I don't know. That's part of what session chatter
Man,
is
it's
gonna be
almost
for.
like they have a Man, it's almost like they have a
Part of the character
A
sheet
notes-
for a notes area. Yeah, weird, huh?
a notes section on
wow.
the character. That's fucking weird.
All right. Alina just thinks it's weird, like he's talking to a rock. What the fuck is going on? We asked for help. Is this guy drunk or crazy? Like, what's going on?
Crazy drunk.
But as I said, obviously, from his outfit of faculty, it's not like an official teacher would belong to any specific house. He would look, based on the robes he's wearing, that like he would be one of the helper people to find what you need in the biblioplex. But you see other people that are in generic Strixhaven clothing come really fucking soon. Like they come out of nowhere. Like it was like a little shimmer of magic. Like they misty step to where you were. It was like you blink and they're fucking there. It's like two people take Aurora, and you would, if you're interested, you can give me perception checks and stuff to try to overhear what they're saying to her. But it's generally a calm and kind tone they're using. Alina notices that Kendricks doesn't. About what they're saying to her. They're going over. If you actually look up, like a Google, what do you say to someone who's having a panic attack? They will say those things to her and stuff. And give her the advice that they tell you to give people who are having panic attacks. And it seems like from their demeanor, their tone, everything about what they're doing and saying, that they have done this before and they are trained to this kind of thing. And you both see that one of them is casting a spell on Aurora Luna Winterstar. Do you let it happen, or do you want to do anything to interrupt it?
I mean, they're the professionals.
Is that a
I
no
have
from
no
both of you?
business stopping them.
Okay. After the spell is cast, she straightens up a little bit, sniffles, and then nods to them, and then walks with them in a steady at a steady pace. If you're curious what they cast, you can both give me an Arcana check.
No reason not to. There it is. I almost clicked animal handling again.
Calm emotions.
Here goes another wasted nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was like a yes or no thing. Do you find out what it is or not, kind of thing, you know? Very binary for that one. But yeah. But you can't say you're not rolling nat 20s too, okay, Voss? You've rolled 3 of them tonight.
Not when they matter.
Well, you still rolled them. Then at the same time as that's happening, I would say since you're both not actively doing anything else, that's why you have the wherewithal to be able to notice both situations happening at the same time, where a couple of people are taking away Aurora, another couple of people are trying to basically bend Goslin back into shape, and they have a kind of like rudimentary stretcher kind of thing. And the person who you approached initially says, "Great, thanks you for bringing this to our attention," and says that they'll take care of it. And within a single blink, all the faculty members, both Goslin and Aurora, are gone from sight.
Well, I think we should go visit Ankaretta.
Give me an insight if you're thinking of visiting Incaretta. Both of you give me an insight check with advantage. This is now up to Denver. How focused is Incaretta that she would accept visitors by now?
What time is it?
Say you went to go study at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You studied, you had dinner, you studied some more, because damn it, you're not going to fail again. Fuck that. Like, you didn't quit your job to have all that free time, maybe join a club or something like that, just to fail a test and that's not even an option? Come on! Are you in the mood for visitors?
Yeah, but only like if visitors did come, she'd probably like force them into training with her.
Well, when you try to do that, I would just be like,
Well, it's the approach. You get to her door, you can knock on it, and by the time they get there, it's already like 8, 9 at night or so. Eight, like kind of like that time frame of like 8:30 to 10ish, where it's dark. Some people are already in the dorms, are already going to bed, stuff like that. Um, what would this be the point in time where Anchorette is still up and active, or like doing her nighttime routine?
No, she's still up and active. She's like, doing fucking sit ups to the sound of Magic Theory or something.
I'm sure all the Quantrics people will be so proud.
so I'm like, knock on your door.
You mean all the Quandrix person?
I didn't. You're not the only Quandrix person at the school. There's like a handful of Quandrix NPCs. The person she's getting along with really well actually is Quandrix.
Yeah, but not in the party. There's only one
Correct.
Quandrix person left in the party.
Correct. The party consists of a Wizard Bloom, a Prismari, and a Quandrix person currently.
Oh no.
So,
Oh,
Kendrick's knocks.
I already
Okay.
knocked.
You hear two people, two
Oh,
different
did
kind
you?
of yeah.
Okay.
You hear
Yeah.
Denver, Incorrect, while you're doing sit-ups, and you hear two different kind of knocks happen on the door. Now, question: would these knocks from either one of you, what kind of knocks would they be? They'd be like solemn, like solid little small knocks or whatever. Like I just need this kind of quiet. I don't want to be too loud to this, or because you need to get her info now because she was in the dark. Rapid, like hurry the fuck up, open the door kind of knocks.
I would do. Hopefully this comes through on the mic. I would do kind of like,
Mine's
So
just,
regular knock.
yeah, mine on the other hand is just business. Just two polite knocks.
And it sounds weird that that there are actually in tandem two different kinds of knocks at the exact same time. It's like, what the fuck's going on?
I would just like look up at Kendrick's like, huh?
Looking down at Alina, just, oh, I'm sorry.
And she like shrugs. It's like, oh.
Would you get up from sit-ups?
Yeah, she would. When she opens the door, she's hella drenched in sweat, but looks like she's learning.
And at this point in time, I'm going to obviously assume that you're not still in armor because that's not efficient to do it in heavy armor for that. I mean, you can't properly
No.
stretch or anything like that with exercises.
She's not. So yes, Saul's her AC is 16 right now.
Anchoretta. What about your AC?
Is Dookie now?
It's 16.
How is it? How is it 16? Oh my god!
Yeah, how?
Well, because if you take the shield and the chainmail off, it becomes 10.
Plus Dex modifier.
No,
You said AC is currently 16. How is that? You giving context? You're saying
Wait a
in
minute.
her just clothing, her AC is 16.
Her clothing, her AC is 10.
Okay, no Dex at all. Okay, so she's in
yeah.
she's in a workout outfit. She's obviously been sweating recently, and she has no idea what the fuck's going on. Proceed.
Proceed.
We have bad news.
What happened? Did you fail another test?
Goslin's dead.
Oh. Well, where is he?
The faculty took his body away.
Did you kill him?
No. We found him. We found him dead, and Aurora Luna Winterstar having a panic attack.
Aurora was there?
Yes. She was unconscious.
This sounds fishy. What exactly happened? Do you know?
No, by the time we got there, Goslin was already dead, and Aurora Luna Winterstar was unconscious.
And even after regaining conscious, unable to give us any details due to her mental state.
Well, I think we should pay our respects to Goslin, but we should find out what happened to him. Yeah.
Well, the only way we're going to do that is by talking to Aurora Luna Winterstar, but she's probably going to need some time to recover from whatever happened. We don't even know where she was taken.
What about the scene of the incident? Did you look around for any clues?
We were a bit more concerned with the dead body and the girl having a panic attack.
Well, now that there's no body and a girl having a panic attack, why don't we go investigate and possibly avenge our dear friend?
I look over at Kendricks with a look that's just like, should we?
There's nothing we lose by doing so, but I will say it is getting late. Also, I am very much not good with that particular area of the campus.
Yes,
No, don't worry.
he got us lost for about an hour and a half with a dead body.
From your intelligence score, Ankaretta, you can tell that that's an impressively bad amount of time to get lost.
But she'll ask, where exactly did this happen?
In the Witherbloom campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things
Just
die.
so you know, for Ankaretta, she is specialized for Witherbloom. Ankaretta
Oh, shit.
you would never get lost in there. And if you were, you know that if you were with them, you would be able to guide them perfectly for all the ins and outs of the pathways there.
Oh man. Well, she'll just say, you know, things die all the time, but like people don't just up and die, and there's got to be a reason, and
Well,
the Aurora Star Luna girl, she seems very formidable. Trust me, I've been up close with her. I don't think she would just have a panic attack for no reason, and it's weird. We need to go to the Witherbloom campus.
very well. Lead the way. You're not going to go there in your underwear, are you?
And this is not my underwear.
She's like in workout clothes. But comparatively speaking, to her to her always wearing armor, it might as well be in for how you perceive her.
Yeah. Also, what I was saying earlier with the 16 AC, that's when she doesn't have her shield. Oh no, it's 17 without the shield. But now it's back to 20, 19. JK, I can't do that. Anyways, she puts on her you know. Actually, no, because that's going to take 15 minutes. So she doesn't put her shit back on. She needs to go now. Things are too suspicious. You know, they wait even longer than they have to. Who knows? Maybe the wind will blow away the evidence. I've been playing too much Ace Attorney.
The wind through the keyhole.
You three get back there, and would Ankaretta have a torch?
She would use this. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm so used to fucking playing a sorcerer. She would have a torch. Yeah.
You'd have a torch, and the other two of you would notice that kind of fucks with your dark vision. But it's one of those necessary evils because she makes out she ends up being a much better guide than Kendricks was today. She gets you back to the scene of what happened in under a half hour because she knows all the shortcuts in and out for all the different routes, and you're like, are you sure? It doesn't seem like there's room back there. Oh my god, that's how we get there that quickly. Fuck. All kind of moments like that happen for her guiding you. She really knows the area. Um, when you get there, there is no dead grass. There is no gnarled roots. It looks like nothing ever happened.
Look at you.
The
Go
three,
ahead.
the three of you, I need a perception check.
Active perception check, not 20. Let's go. Ah, fuck! It didn't work again.
Oh, look at that, Kendrick.
Kendricks noticed among the grass near the natural occurring route, because you noticed unnatural roots, but in a small layer of dirt, trying almost as if someone was trying to hide them, but didn't do a good job of it, like covering stuff in dirt or whatever. There was a what looks to be the remains of a top hat and a bow tie.
Oh, that's depressing.
And you don't need to give me any
uncover
check.
that.
You don't need to give me any check to know exactly where your character would remember them from.
So we all saw them.
Nope, only Kendricks. It depends on if Kendricks points them out or not.
Well, he left to do something. Matt, you've been pretty quiet.
No, I do.
Gonna join this
I pulled
game.
them both out.
Are you shitting me? It was literally like only Matt and me going at it until you got here, Jess. What are you talking about?
I'm just messing with him because his character's dead.
Oh,
I
Like
did.
he can't join. Yeah, he can't join the game again until he gets a new character, or unless the faculty like make a Goswin zombie.
I'm not gonna go the zombie route, dude.
I know we can make a zombie.
For the record, I had to look up the part of the adventure where you got the frogs in the first place to know which color wore the what thing.
So would Kendricks point out the apparel?
I said I would.
Okay.
Oh.
I said I uncover it twice.
Sorry, didn't hear. My bad. So yeah, everyone realizes there is a bow tie and a top hat, but they look really worn. Like they look like the exact ones that a couple of frogs were wearing before, but like as if the frogs were left, as if they took them off and let them to just naturally decay in nature. But obviously, frogs would never fucking do that. So something awry happened here.
Oh no. Are
And one of
those
the
what I
weirdest,
think they are?
yeah, one of the weirdest parts is the fact that you didn't know what the fuck happened to your frogs in the first place. Why would they ever be here?
And it's not like they stayed in duos either.
Trixie, are those what I think they are?
Afraid so. I hand Alina back hers.
Oh.
You're giving her like a partially torn, really frayed, like little tiny bow tie.
It was her frog.
Yep.
She'll affix it in her hair.
That's not weird at all.
It's not.
How's
Kendricks
that-
will not be wearing the tiny top hat, but Kendricks will be keeping it.
I mean, the little bow can be worn like a bow, so. Like your hair.
Part of the material is frayed, so it wouldn't stay on for a bow tie. It would fall out of your hair.
Hmm.
Mm.
I'll have to get it fixed at some point.
Only if you knew a caster, or if casters ever had the cantrip mending. So weird. Where would you find a caster who mending in like a magic school?
If only that character didn't
downright
die.
silly. That's what that idea is.
Crazy.
It is. Yeah.
The top hat, yeah, you can by all means add like a tiny top hat for a frog with 0 weight in your inventory if you want it, or something like that.
I mean, that's exactly what I was going to do, but, you know.
Michelangelo's top hat.
But other than those two things for the frog outfits, which only gives more questions than answers, by the way, there is no sign that anything ever happened here. regardless of all of your rolls. It's about whether you notice those two little small things that one of the frogs or not. You notice nothing else amiss in this area. Almost
Damn, you know
eerily
what's
so.
crazy?
You?
Bro, we could have saved God. Oh my god, I swear of dying. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so sorry I had to work today.
Well, we would have had to have gotten there in time.
Yeah, even
Oh.
if you were even if you were here, he would have been dead for far too long by the time we got to it.
Revivify
okay.
is 1 minute after death.
No. I know me. I meant Spirit of the Dying, but I didn't realize y'all weren't there when it happened.
Correct. The last
Yeah,
session
we got
of
there
Strixhaven.
after he died.
Yep, the last
Oh, okay.
yeah. It was for the record, everything that happened with Goswin and Aurora happened in a span of about 20 minutes tops.
Wait, were they on a date or something?
Nope. He told her he told her the teacher died. She said she had to leave and cancel her performance that night, and so she left Bozen Tavern. He followed her. She freaked out in this unpopulated area, and he followed her to this unpopulated area and failed a strength save. They started getting sucked into it.
Gotcha.
He tried consoling her with what skills he had, which Goswin didn't have a lot. And one thing after another happened.
Okay.
But in Coretta, you realize that they said this is where it happened. But you see no evidence of like a struggle. You see no evidence of like a magical duel of any kind. But so like what's going on? They found a couple of things that might have belonged to the frogs, but that's it.
Anchoretto will look at the plants, the surrounding foliage.
What are you looking for?
Are any signs of disturbance?
Nature. Would anyone else look for in any signs of change of the plant life or in the surrounding area?
Yeah, boy.
Kendrick definitely would.
And yeah,
Granted,
nature.
I'm only passingly okay at this. Or not at all, you know.
Igra is a fresh set of eyes in this situation. So you notice that there seems to be, for whatever reason, now a lot of areas in this are like some areas are more dead than others in the Witherbloom stuff, and you know death and is a natural part of the life cycle, so it's no big deal. Not normally. So if you see a dead plant, whatever, maybe it's just its time kind of thing. But you notice with your roll of a 23 that there are like minute disturbances in the ground in like in a pretty large radius, and there is actually a perfect circle of what seems to be newly grown grass in an attempt to seem natural in the surrounding area. But with your knowledge of the natural world, being the weather bloom specialist you are, you notice that something is amiss here. You're not sure why this would happen, but you're sure that this is unnaturally cleaned up.
Someone tried to cover it up.
And both of you are like, yeah, no shit.
Well,
because they saw it, but you didn't. That's the point.
Well, to be honest, when she says that, she probably would just add on. Like, I honestly wasn't about to believe you guys.
If you didn't get as good of a roll as you did, basically, there's no way you would have believed him. Fuck. It's like, no one notices anything out of the ordinary. Like, what the fuck, guys? Why'd you waste my time here? Sorry, go ahead.
Can she like chop the grass?
You brought your armor and weapons, correct?
Shit.
Did you bring your sword and shield?
I want to make sure what you're like. You didn't. You were with it a few minutes. So you didn't just go with them at night in your sweaty clothes, right?
Well, no, because she wanted to go right away, so she didn't bring her shield or her armor. But like, I imagine that she has like a holster for like one of her swords.
Oh, yeah, it's just an easy strap to go around your waist, kind of thing. For the sheath.
Yeah. so
She might see
would
it
have her
at that
sword.
point in time. You're probably comfortable enough with a sword that you see it as even just straight utility more than just combat kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, she cuts her hair with her sword.
Are you about to go? Are you about to go all Link on this shit?
Yep.
I would need a deck save from the two of you.
Oh, Jesus.
She doesn't
Wait.
give you warning that she's about to swing her sword in a huge arc, and you're both in the radius of getting hit.
I will be right back.
Okay, have fun. Don't
oh
die.
man, this is my best save. I am so good at this.
Did y'all like my Link impression?
It wasn't bad.
It was passable.
Yeah. Like I would like if it with even without the context, I would have known it was Link.
Give me an attack roll with your sword, Denver.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter what number you roll for the attack. Just roll damage.
Okay.
Kendrick takes 9 damage.
Oh, wonderful.
She out of nowhere. You showed Incorrect in this area, and she looked at it a little bit, mentioned that she almost wasn't going to believe you, and then she swipes with her sword. Well, that's a series of events that happened.
Dude, are you guys hearing this too? Like when you get a message on Discord? Oh, it's Halloween. That's what it is.
Would Kendricks have any reaction to getting hit by her?
Watch where you're swinging, Matt.
It's crucial to the investigation. You should have had quicker reflexes.
I just posted a
How
link.
about you pay attention to where your allies are?
How about you pay attention to this grass?
That's fine as you probably burn everything, or the proper resources and whatnot. You cut down a bit of the grass, and you notice that they missed a couple of spots. Give me either a nature or investigation check. Apparently, you're all in on nature tonight. Oh my god. You notice that this was not fire damage that looks like scorched grass. It was magical necrotic. But
That's
if you
my favorite
didn't
kind.
cut down the grass and you didn't have as good of a roll as you did, you would have never noticed it. And you're at least self-aware enough to realize, man, if I wasn't awesome, they would suck. We would be in a lot of trouble right now.
But I kind of feel like she didn't learn anything that they didn't know already.
That's kind of true, but they didn't tell you the whole details of the whole entire. They didn't tell you the scene of the crime. They didn't tell you everything was actually here. They did not explain it well. They're like, hey, what happened? They were just lying there. They didn't mention the fact that there was gnarled branches and dead grass and fucked half-burned gnarled branches, but it was unnaturally entangled vines and shit. And they didn't mention all of the crap. They just mentioned they were lying there.
But like, would she know what kind of spell? Like what type of? No, not what type, but like the specific spell, maybe.
From your Witherbloom background, yes, you can figure out that it is necrotic magic that is possible. It is possibly a variation upon a Wither and Bloom spell. You don't know how it got cast in the way it did. You don't know why it got cast. You don't. For all you know, Aurora came here and killed Goswin. She was maybe she was a femme fatale, maybe she was like a honeypot. You don't know what the trick was, but you know it's technically a possibility based on the information you currently have at hand that she may have just straight up murdered Goswin. Because you've seen her use necrotic magic on plant life before.
Yeah. What say you, party members?
Because right now you haven't shared this insight or information with anyone else. You basically made that realization about it being necrotically inflicted, but didn't say anything as of yet currently.
Oh shit, she probably would have been like saying it out loud as she figured things out.
Would
You
either
know,
of you try
just
to
scientific method.
argue the concept of Aurora being the murderer?
If she was, I don't think it was her fault.
What makes you say that?
You should have seen the state she was in. If she had killed him on purpose, I don't think she would be reacting like that.
Some people have
I also
dark
don't think it was
desires.
an on purpose thing. Who uses AoE to target one person?
Idiots.
I need Alina and Kendricks to give me insight. Because not Incredible because she wasn't here for it.
Nat 20, let's go!
Both of you realize that, technically speaking, if she did do it on purpose, she might have been out of it because it's one of those. It could be. She could have been one of those things like, I actually went through with it, son of a bitch. But with a nat 20, um, you realize that even if it was intentional, there has to be a lot bigger conspiracy going on if she was supposed to be if she was the one sent to kill him, and if it was an accident, it could make sense because she might have she might have come to this isolated part of the Witherbloom campus because she was already in distress and she didn't want to be near anyone in case something like that happened. But something bad might have happened to Goswin due to her unintentional distress, and something might have gotten out of control. But would Alina share any of that insight?
Yes.
Like, there's a difference between you learning something and sharing it with and actually sharing it with the rest of the group.
Yeah, whatever sort of like thing she can deduce, she would like share it so that everybody's in the dupe.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh. Oh.
Huh.
Oh.
Oh my god, shut up.
You shut up, bitch.
Well, that's just blatantly unkind, but okay. Um, would the three of you do anything further at this site?
That's up to Anchoretta. She seems to be kind of in charge.
I don't know. You're intuiting a lot of interesting things yourself.
But she's the one who knows her way around, so. Hmm.
I have an idea.
Oh.
You know that finger I cut off?
It's now currently ash in a glass vial in your inventory.
Yeah, but she wants to compare it to the area. There's
So the
two
two,
suspicious things.
so Kendricks and Alina watch as you take a vial of dust a vial of ash, burnt ash, and she pours a little bit on the ground and like picks up a little bit back up and like, puts it between her fingers and rubs it together and looks back between the ground and her fingers and in this ash kind of thing, like, and in Coretta, you can very obviously tell with your. I'm just going to go based off your past nature scores thus far, that what happened here was necrotic. What happened to the finger, what happened to the ash that you have in the vial, is fire.
Oh. Two different things. Okay.
And you two don't know what the fuck she's doing because she's brought out a vial of ash out of nowhere. Like, what?
What would that be? Anchoretta, what are you doing there?
A little thing called the scientific method.
What's in the vial, though?
Oh, you remember that dead lady we found? I cut her fingers off and put some in this vial, and now I have the vial.
She has
full
dead
of-
dryad finger ash in a vial.
You cut a finger off of our dead teacher.
She was already dead. What
You
else she was gonna do with it?
you desecrated her corpse.
I've desecrated a lot of things in the pursuit of knowledge.
Hang on. I think I know the perfect gift for my reaction. If
I
I can.
have a lot in here. I have been looking for one the entire time.
I will laugh so hard if we do
No,
this.
it's not going to be the same.
The fuck was that?
What do you think that was?
So you guys respond to her having a dead finger with a clown?
Well, mine is. You see, mine is like that's how kind of how Alina reacts.
Wait, did you see her do that? Oh no, shit, secret.
No, nobody saw you do that.
Yeah, you were
Correct.
alone.
You waited until everyone
remember
else
now.
was out of the class. Then you took your chance and you chopped it off perfectly. You had a good roll at that point, and you did it in a way where no one noticed its absence because of how her current fingers and everything was currently twisted up in her dying stance. So no, it wouldn't have really been noticeable until you told people about it, which you just did.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot, but you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Like I just desecrated a corpse of our professor.
And then
It's
also
fine,
admitted to
fine.
desecrating a lot more than just that.
It's fine. So,
Well,
anyways, she didn't really get much out of that little experiment she did. So,
and Coretta, can I trust you at all? You
of
seem
course
to
you
be
can
a
trust
little.
me.
You seem to be. How should I? Unhinged.
Do you expect me to be some beefy fighter woman?
I mean, you look like toned and lean, but you're more than muscle.
We didn't expect you to be someone who would attack allies and desecrate corpses.
I mean, that's a fair counterpoint.
Look, all I'm saying is that
You have no idea how to wield your sword and can't tell friend from foe in the middle of the night.
oh, I know who my foes are.
You literally gave them no warning when you're about to swipe at the grass.
And then you hit me.
You're fine now.
I don't think you do. And frankly, I'm done
Look.
with this for the day, and I walk off.
Look. Yes, let's go to sleep. Actually, no, I'm not going to go to sleep.
What's going on, Incoretta?
There's more investigation to be had. She wants to find the body
No.
What body?
of Gosman.
The body has been taken by the faculty. The professionals are handling it. I am not going to let you try to sneak into somewhere that is most likely restricted and steal a corpse.
Whoever said anything about stealing corpses?
Three of you, give me an insight or raw intelligence based on how you think your character would go about this, with intellectually or intuition.
Why
Um,
3?
No.
You had to say 3, huh? So Kendricks realizes you would put 2 and 2 together. You would intuit that this is not the first corpse they have found on campus that has been found on campus, and this is not going to be the last. Like, if you think this is the first the student to die from a weird happenstance on campus, you would be gravely mistaken.
I see what you did there. Gravely.
Exactly.
It would have been funny if he was a grave cleric.
Oh man.
I'm not a cleric.
I know. I said it would. I know. I'm saying a missed opportunity, but that's what you
Meh.
realize. Where it's like deeper, not just professionals, but the professionals who have been doing this and know what the fuck they're doing, who have probably done this time and time again about a random in their minds a random student dying. Because the only info you gave them and you didn't want to stop them to give them any more info because it was one of those, it's another day on the job or night on the job for them, because they were like they seemed like on call but they knew what they were doing, and they took the body and stuff, but you didn't seem to explain all the circumstances. So technically speaking, you can find that person again at the Biblioplex and try to inquire further about what happened to his body, or explain what happened further specifics if you want to do so. But currently speaking, the current time frame is you're most likely not going to be able to find out any information tonight, and you don't have any idea offhand where they would bring a corpse.
Okay.
Well, that's Kendricks. Both of you have no fucking idea what's going on.
Dang. Well, if Anchoretta didn't get that information, she would probably just walk off.
You mean like Kendricks did shortly after his statement?
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah,
That would
Kendricks had his say, and then it was like, "How dare you? Well, I can't have any of this bullshit tonight. I'm going." Mic drop.
so
Kinda.
Alina would try to catch Anchoretta and just be like, "Look, let's just call it a night for now, and then maybe tomorrow we can ask around and see if we can visit Aurora Luna Winterstar and see if she's in a better state where we can talk to her and find out more about what happened."
Dang, she made it out of Ohio.
Okay. Well, Anchoretta agrees, but she's gonna sleep in her own room.
Well, yeah, I was like, Alina was gonna go back to her own room.
Oh.
Like, she wasn't suggesting that they
Obviously.
like bunk up together. Like let's just meet at the Bose or at the Fire Jolt Cafe when we've got free time tomorrow.
So, what is the as far as people walking away from the scene? What is the sequence of that happening? Does like Kendrick starts walking and then the other two follow shortly after him, kind of thing? I just want to confirm sequence of events or like how you're lined up, kind of thing.
I think it'd be Kendricks, Anchoretta, and then Alina.
Yeah, because I think like Kendricks walked away, then Anchoretta was like, "I need to find the body," and it's like, and
Like, we already have
Alina's like,
the body. There's a what?
and Alina's like, "Let's not do that. Let's," it's like, she's like, "I need to find the body," and she started leaving, and then Alina's like, "No, let's go to bed. We'll meet up at the Fire Jolt Cafe tomorrow."
After talking Anchoretta down and everyone settled, has accepted the fact that nothing further can be done for the night. As you all three walk away from the situation, as the last of the three, I need a perception check from Alina.
Ooh, I can do that. No.
You can do that. You did it.
I can do it. I just can't succeed.
What your character doesn't see is a couple of small figures peeking at you warily, but curiously from nearby foliage.
Are they cute?
No one knows.
I know.
They don't have your corpse. The dead don't tell tales.
I know. I'm just saying.
I mean,
Dead men
granted,
tell no
granted, it's not like there isn't a cleric among the faculty that can't just do speak with dead to ask you questions.
Yeah. Do they do so?
Yes.
And then they forget to ask the fifth question.
No. So you have a weird semi-consciousness with a lack of control. Like you don't you don't know where you are. A little bit disorientation. You see that it's really clean and concise, which whatever part of the quandrix part of your consciousness can appreciate at least. But it's somewhere you on campus in a building you've never been to before. It's a weird combination of efficient utilitarian kind of furniture that still seems to try to attempt to be some small level of comfortable. You can look around very slowly, and you notice that you're in an armchair, like a big puffy armchair, and you're seated with your hands folded in your lap, just like looking straight ahead. But you can't do much more than that. And you see someone else in white and red robes is sitting in a matching chair and looking at you expectantly. Um, they asked you. They have a very like there's a pregnant pause before they really start their words because it's like they start and stop a lot because it's like one of those they don't want to get it wrong. Um, they asked you who was all around you at the time of your death. Like who was all there? Who was all there at the time of your death? And you feel an urge to answer them, but you don't feel completely 100% compelled to necessarily tell them all of the information or any of the correct information. What do you want to do? And if you want to try to understand what's going on, I would need an Arcana check.
Okay, I feel like definitely roll that. Arcana.
You do realize the situation. You're fully actually dead, and someone casts Speak with Dead, and that's what you're doing. You are able to give them an answer, but you know this is one of 5 questions they have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to you how you answer their question. The first question is who was all around you when you died?
Well, technically, I only know of one person truly being around me. And that would be.
They didn't ask who were all the people. They asked who was around you when you died.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
up to you how you. Yeah, it's up to you how you want to interpret that or how you want to answer it.
He would answer Aurora Luna Winterstar.
Snitch.
Snitches get stitches.
That's implying they're getting beat up. This guy's already dead.
I mean, he's going to get stitches after the autopsy.
Depending on how his answers go, they might not need one.
Fair.
You see them nod solemnly, like it was an answer it's like an answer they didn't want to hear, but they expected it nonetheless. What was the cause of your death?
I mean,
as far as you're aware of, as far as Goswin is aware, what killed him?
the last thing he would probably remember before he died was himself falling. So he would answer falling.
You see their eyes close and their brows frown, and they do that thing where they put their hand up to their face and they get up like they almost scrunch their eyes and brows together, like son of a bitch. This is not helping. Because you died in a very particular dumb way, and like the final blow.
Yep.
But they had no way of knowing that. A very direct question, but said very asked very confidently. Did Aurora Luna Winterstar kill you?
No.
They seem satisfied with that answer, and they ask you, "Is there anyone in particular you want us to notify of your passing?"
My family.
And then, is there any message you want us to pass along to anyone who asks about you or what happened to you? And so this is where you gotta have fun with it, Matt. They will pass this message along. So if anyone asks about where's Goswin, what happened to him, this is the information they will learn. So think carefully on it.
Died riding a flaming shark into a volcano strapped to the nines with TNT.
While fucking a hot ass supermodel.
If you say that, that is a message they will pass on.
What?
They are asking for a message because keep in mind that when you speak with dead, it's not just an interrogation. They're trying to be kind about it because you don't always get to have these kind of directions directly from the dead after it happens because it can happen very as an impromptu death kind of thing. And so, they don't all, not everyone has like their last will and testament ready to go and shit. So yeah, if anyone's asking about you or asks what happened to you, what's the message that you want to pass along?
He would say, "Tell Aurora Luna Winterstar, I'm sorry. It's not your fault."
So now it's like, hey, what happened to Goswin? Can you tell Aurora Luna Winterstar it's not her fault?
Well, I assume that if I'm saying it like that, they would say it to her, not to like everyone who would ask, kind of thing.
If you guys ask at a future date, you'll see what happens.
Mhm.
But that's at a future date.
Mhm.
After you answer and the last word escapes your mouth, your eyes get a lot heavier and they close all the way, and then it's just pure black, and then there is no thought to think about anymore.
Oh, dead.
There is no more Goswin. Correct.
Red Dead. He's Red Dead.
Should we hold like a funeral? Has that
I
got?
mean, I feel like they would kind of do that at the school. If
The, they might. I would have to Google into that because that's like really homebrew extensions concepts of it. Because you got to realize how many bad mishaps and magical experimentations with overly brash and overconfident kids happen to pull shit, or they don't understand magic and they're trying to study it and shit goes wrong. Just how many funerals do you expect for them to have exactly every school year? People come from the multiple dimensions to come to this school. So they will note uh, there yeah. So for the record, you get the sense of one of your last feelings though is the sense of closure in the sense that you do believe based on any vibe you could possibly get from the person talking to you and asking you questions that they will honor your wishes and that they will mention it to your family. They will mention what you asked for to Aurora. And you can at least rest easily knowing that your will be followed. And that's where we'll end it tonight with one of you dead.